Hey, Juggalones, how we doing? There's zero of you here right now. This is good. It's good. I know I promised you Russ, kind of, but I didn't put it on the schedule. But anyway, that's going to be next week. That'll be a fun one. But today, we're going to learn about earwigs. Me, you, and TJ. Well, TJ knows already. So, yeah, he's got more than a few species, apparently. And he's going to teach us all about them, which is delightful. I am going to do some more announcements at the end of the show, but we'll do that later. Yeah, we'll get to that at the end for everybody who sticks around and the one person who was here left. So, they were here on accident. All right, well, apparently nobody likes earwigs. Let's bring TJ on and see what all the fuss is about. Oh, they're back. All right, or some other brave soul. Welcome to the show, guests. Here's TJ Ombrelle.
Hi.
Ombrelle. We did this
The one
joke already.
person that was here left.
Yeah, no, they were here and then they left, and now there's someone. Honestly, I hope it's this different person.
Earwigs? Are you kidding me? Let's get out of here.
Yeah. Honestly, I hope it's a different person. I think it says that it's me. I think I'm listed as a viewer.
That's weird.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. I don't know if it tells me. I should find out if that's a feature after. It's been like 3 years. I should know that.
You should, man. I thought you were a YouTuber.
Yeah, no. I mean, I guess technically, I'm going to put you over here because my face is like, so I can actually pretend to look at you.
Okay.
Yeah. I've been doing it 3 years, a little over 3 years. We just hit our 200th video, and no, I'm not a YouTuber. I just like to have fun. I just like to talk to people. So, and this is a good way to get people that I respect, get their time unabashed for an hour and a half at best.
Or about unabashed.
Or bashed. Let's see if this works. Oh, no, it just says I have 2. All right.
Okay.
It doesn't say who they are.
It's so both of us. It's both of us. It's us. Yeah. Somehow, I'm not even on YouTube, but it's us.
It's us and Earwig Cam. We got Earwig Cam over here.
Yep.
Yeah, it's gross. You know what's funny is since I talked about the Earwig show, they have these little cameras now, I guess, with a little like silicone scoop on the end for cleaning shit out of your ears.
Yeah.
And it's got a camera on it. So you see so clearly the internet thinks I need to check my ears for earwigs.
Yes.
So
keep writing earwigs.
Yeah. So let's go over that myth right away, because I think that started with Star Trek, where they had that little antlion thing they put in the guy's ear. And
maybe I'm not sure where that myth started. That earwigs are in your ears, probably because they're called earwigs, and it's they're actually called earwigs because it's thought that they're called earwigs because their wings. The whole group is actually named Dermaptera, which is like skin wing or like folded wing, and because their wings, when they're outstretched, kind of look like an ear. A little bit. They got like a bit of an ear shape to them, and so it's thought that that's why the people started calling them earwigs.
It would be earwings, I would think.
Earwigs, yeah, you would think, but
yeah, whatever.
Right, but that's why they're called earwigs. But then people extrapolate that to mean, oh, that means they burrow into people's ears and lay eggs in them and stuff like that. Which I'm sure you could potentially get an earwig in your ear, but there's also like what did they found? Like roaches, jumping spiders, all sorts of bugs have crawled into
tiny crab.
Ears. Yeah,
guy with the tiny crab, and that video is horrifying.
Oh god.
So
all sorts of bugs can make it into your ears, but none of them really want to. Long term, it doesn't end well for them.
It's like that spider thing. Like, oh, do you know how many spiders crawl in your mouth? 0. I'm gonna go with 0 on this one because they know. That's death. Stupid.
Yeah.
Hey, Moon, how you doing? There's supposed to be 2 other people here, but they keep popping in and out, Moon. So stick around so we keep one. Just want to keep one. It keeps jumping like it keeps jumping like 3, 2, 3, 1. But if you're here watching, we're happy to have you.
Yeah.
Even if
start talking about bugs going in people's ears and they're just leaving.
No, they came on. They were like, "Oh, it's getting real." But that's how rumors get started. So Justin says that's what freaked me out as a kid. Earwigs in your ear.
Yeah.
Plus those pinchers in their butt. Yeah, their booty pinchers are.
Pinchers they look scary, but you're not likely to. Even if when I hold them, a lot of the larger species.
Yeah.
It's I can't even really pinch you that good with them.
It's just like a thing.
It's nothing. It's nothing compared to like click beetle larvae.
Okay.
Those will draw blood. These guys, it's nothing. It's
Like
nothing.
beetle larvae. You've been warned, folks. Don't put them in your ear. They're not ear beetle larvae. Yes, and they smell.
No. Good God.
Click beetle larvae smell or earwig smell?
No. Saying earwig smell probably. Which some of the more common species do produce a defensive fluid that smells pretty bad.
Oh, fluid. I like
right? Yeah.
Chemical
defense fluid. Yeah. Yeah.
Just say they pee their pants. Just say like.
Just say it.
When you're scared. I produce a defensive fluid as well. So,
you use the defensive fluid every time you see an earwig in your house?
Almost. Maybe a little bit, because I'm old now, so I don't have as much control over that as I used to.
Oh my God.
Here's the thing you'll find. The older you get, it started about when I was 45, maybe. The older I get, the more chance there is that I'm walking around with my zipper down. It's not on purpose. It's not on purpose. I just don't seem to care.
Oh God.
Yeah. You'll get like a weird breeze. All of a sudden you'll get a breeze. And you're like, uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Oops.
I shouldn't be doing this at a children's party. Like this.
Oh God, no. Jeez. Yeah, no, definitely happened. Not the place, not the time or place.
That hasn't happened. That
hasn't happened yet.
Sorry. Don't get on me, conservatives. Yeah, no, that's not a thing that happens. So, but yeah, you will have you'll have that, and P-bibs will make more sense because like the older you get, the more like you can't shake it off enough. Like there's always another drop. There always. So that's a little. You weren't tuning in to learn that fact.
Yeah. See, earwig tips. Earwig live stream for real life hacks.
Yeah, real life.
Get a bib.
Hacks, like.
Get a.
You started it with defensive fluids.
I did. That's my fault.
And that's how you become the weird dad nobody wants to invite to the barbecue. Oh, please let me be that dad. Please, I don't want to go to your barbecue. If you're having one, don't invite me. I don't want to go. I did barbecue professionally.
If he does go, he will be that dad though.
I'll keep my zipper up as far as it'll go. So, and I'll wear my shorts up above my belly button because this is my awesome shirt. It says it's Father's Day. It says Nacho Average Dad. So yeah. I think it's amazing. I love tacos. I love Mexican food culture, and this is like
perfect mix.
Almost slanderously Hispanic. So
almost, but it's
almost. I've been informed by my muchachos that it's not racist. It's just funny. So I'm happy.
Yeah. It's just punny. We love puns. I love puns.
You can have them. It is punny though. Yeah. Now that we're back on the rails, let's get back on the rails. So now when I was a kid, well, I'll say teenager, I was doing yard work and I found, I don't know if are they colonies or they just stick together like earwigs. It was a massive earwigs, like 1,000.
Yeah, they're pretty social. A lot of them, like you usually find them in groups.
Okay, so this was like 1,000. And so my genius brain, I went to the garage and I cut the top off of a milk jug. And I shook as many of them into the milk jug as I could. And then I put lighter fluid in there.
Oh my God!
I sent them to hell. Because I hated earwigs. I still hate earwigs. Not that much.
Sent them to hell. Oh my God.
I'm sorry. I had to tell you, like, I regret it now. But that's the level of disgust and hate that I had for earwigs. So,
well, those are probably like the invasive European earwigs, so...
Probably.
They're pretty bad. They're pretty they displace I've seen them displace a lot of both native earwigs and other native like detritivores, so
I wonder how that is.
The less of those around the better, to be honest.
I need to do an episode about invasives soon.
Yeah.
So we can touch on that here though. So how would to me, none of them
Mhm.
look that different, right? It's like
No.
isopods. Like none
Yeah.
of them look that different to me. Like
Mhm.
there's not spiky ones, right? There's not, there's not ones with strange.
There's some in like Asia that have like basically imagine deer antlers, and that's what their pinchers look like on the males, at least. That like really crazy, like multiple. Yeah,
All right, that's kind of rad. That's
super
kind of
fun. Yeah,
rad right there. And of course, it's
yeah,
Asian. Of course,
yeah. Of course, it's Asian.
of
Yeah,
course.
there's iridescent species over there too. Yeah, they got a lot of neat ones.
Yeah, in Australia they shoot their pincers
In
at you like a
Australia, they
boomerang,
have ones like that big. No joke, like literally that large.
like a weta, but an earwig.
Basically, and they
Oh
have
my
entered
god.
culture in China, so hopefully one day we'll get them over here in the
Yeah,
hobby.
we got to get a brown boxer. I mean, no, we don't. We don't.
Oh, dear.
Don't do that. Maybe they showed up in a bag of oranges that I got. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
right?
don't know how they got here. I just cultured them.
Yep.
Awful, awful.
Yeah.
I will never support that, but at the same time, that's probably how we got most of the
Yeah.
bugs in our collections. So, yeah, we're all there partly. So there are the different ones,
Mm-hmm.
but they're all pretty much the same. So, well, I
Very
mean,
similar
physically they
body
look
plan.
pretty
Yeah.
much the same.
Yeah.
So how does one? I don't know the difference. I don't know that I've seen a native
Mm-hmm.
one. If I have that many European ones here, which I'm assuming, I don't know. I don't know what species it was.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, they all kind of look the same to me. So,
Mm-hmm.
if they're doing the same job, they're doing the same thing. One species is native, so they're made to be here.
Mm-hmm.
How does an like a invasive species outperform them? Like,
Well, the invasive ones, the Forficula, I think it's Aurea cola or something like that, and then there's another species, Forficula dentata, that's here in the western U.S., which is what I have.
yeah.
Those two, they're like super prolific, like ultra. They have so many babies per litter, and they probably have multiple litters a year. And they just seem to breed faster than the natives, and
They just
maybe
go
more
nuts.
aggressive as well. So like
Okay.
they just seem to displace the natives where they're found. Like you don't I don't know if there were native earwigs in my area at one point. I don't know if there are any in Idaho, but if there were, they would be completely gone because like the European earwigs are everywhere here,
But they've been
even like
here
fairly
forever.
far from urban areas too. Like they're so established here in the U.S. now.
I mean, they've been here forever anyway. So at what point did they just become like,
Kind
just
of.
our earwigs now?
They're kind of naturalized at this point, although like I do notice the areas that I find a lot of those in, a lot of other native detritivores are like non-existent.
Oh wow, so they're pushing out all the detritivores, like
I
they're cornering
think
the market.
so. I think so. Because they're not just carnivorous. They will eat like detritus as well. You'll see adults of a lot of species like visiting flowers and stuff too.
Okay. That's what I thought they did. I thought they
Yeah.
just were detritivores. Like I thought that was it.
They're like really, really protein hungry detritivores. So they will eat
Okay.
other stuff too, but they're also very protein hungry. Any other
Wild.
insects and stuff. So yeah, they're kind of just like little locusts. And so native ones, they don't do much harm in the environment that they are a part of, that they're native to. But these European ones, I've noticed, it seems like they displace at least some of the native detritivores because it's basically like dead zones. Like I'll go into like a field or whatever, and if there's not a lot of earwigs there, then there'll be usually a decent variety of other invertebrates. But if I flip over a log and there's just 100 European earwigs underneath it, it's like, okay, I'm not far enough away from civilization. There's too many invasives here.
So they're packed around civilization.
Usually, the European earwigs are usually found closer, or at least in larger numbers, the closer you get to like civilized, developed areas.
Okay.
Because like developed urban lawns or whatever are more close of a what is it? They're closer to their natural habitat than the actual U.S. is, right? Because it's like based on like European fauna and stuff usually.
Okay, they're known for their lawns.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. I like that whole tradition of the American lawn. I thought that had some roots in European
It's super English,
colonization.
super
Yeah, yeah,
British. Yeah.
yeah. And
Yeah.
so most of the times in lawns, at least here in Idaho, like most of the fauna that you're gonna find like under rocks and stuff in your yard are European species, whether it's earwigs or adventive rove beetles. The isopods that you find in your yard are also
Yeah.
European.
For
So
the most part. Yep.
all that fauna usually in like yards is just European stuff. I got that over
Earthworms,
here.
all that stuff.
Exactly. Everything is just
Crazy.
European. So
But that's where I like. What point does it just become like
yeah,
ours?
so like
Like we just
yeah,
it's just ice spots. Like
yeah,
it's past region now. They're everywhere.
it's basically
Sadly,
like that. Yeah.
yeah. I have at least I would
hmm
say 10 species of ice spot around me that I know
hmm
of. I don't know of like different. I know I have Armadillidium vulgare, right? I've got a ton
hmm
of those. My neighborhood has a whole ton.
Yeah.
That's my fault. Um, but we have a Porcellio. We have some kind of I want to say it's an aniscus,
hmm
at least one.
hmm
Um, the bricklayer isopod. It looks like its back looks like bricks, like it's just
Yeah.
made of bricks. I don't know.
That's Porcellus spinacornis, maybe.
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 And there's some dwarfs. There's a dwarf
hmm
species that I found out here too. That's pretty cool. But yeah, who knows? I don't know what's native. I didn't look into it enough.
Of
I
those
just
that you
tried it.
listed, probably only maybe the dwarf species would be native, and that's a big maybe.
And it's probably just manka from something that I didn't see
Maybe.
nearby, right?
Yeah.
So it's not even.
Yeah.
I mean, they're
Yeah.
existing together, so at
Right.
least it's a little diverse.
Yeah. Yeah.
So in captivity, so these guys are protein hungry. Are you keeping them
hmm
like you keep your ice pods, just a little more fish flake?
People like isopods or roaches. Really, they burrow a lot, so I give
Okay,
them a solid few inches of substrate.
good.
Coconut fiber mixed with sand, usually, just to give it a little bit more stability for their burrows. And they burrow a lot. The females usually lay their eggs underground in like a little chamber,
Okay.
and the mothers actually take care of the eggs. They like lay a clump, and then they're constantly like a dragon over their pile of gold. They're just like this mom earwig over her pile of eggs, grooming them, keeping them clean, free of fungi, until they hatch, and then the
Uh,
babies just disperse. And so that's pretty cool. They have a little bit of maternal care.
they guard their
Um,
eggs. That's good. I would never
yeah,
think that such a
yeah.
shiny bug would do that.
Shiny bugs care too, man. They care. They care. They care about their babies.
I
They're
admitted to
tons of little
TJ that
earwig
the
babies.
shinier the bug, the less likely I am to respect it at all.
He
Uh,
hates glossy bugs.
I found that out. Yeah, I don't like a high gloss. I like my bugs more matte or, like semi gloss at most.
I
Little
got that
shiny.
magpie mentality. I see something shiny, I'm like, I want that.
It shows. It shows. But earwigs are like one of the glossiest, shiniest bugs
Yeah, they're pretty smooth. They're
out
smooth
there.
boys.
Yeah. I'm looking at this picture. All right, I'm going to show you guys this picture.
Yeah.
This is from our boy here, and it is. I don't know how to get rid of that topper. I'm glad there's no like
That is weird.
insinuating websites up there, like no links up there,
Yeah.
like naughty links. But you can see like the legs are shiny, the antennas are
Mhm.
shiny.
Yes. And that's Euborrelia arcanum. That's the giant arcane earwigs.
Okay.
For those of you who so one of the ways earwigs might escape from your enclosure is they can fly. Most earwigs have wings. They have little elytra that cover their ear-shaped long wings underneath. But Euborrelia arcanum, though, and I think all the Euborrelia species lack wings completely.
Oh, so that's the one you want to breed.
Yeah, and they can't climb smooth surfaces either. I think maybe adult European earwigs can climb smooth surfaces, but even that, I don't think they can. I don't think most earwigs can climb.
Okay.
So they're pretty easy to contain in my experience, but
I mean, even the winged ones, like unless you're walking away with the lid off or something, or
yeah, exactly.
keeping it open top.
I've never seen one take flight, basically, but that's one way they could conceivably escape.
I'm going to say this is because of YouTube, but my reels or whatever, my Facebook reels or YouTube shorts showed me a video of one unfolding its wings and
Yeah,
folding. It seems like a whole big hassle.
It's a big process, yeah, because those wings, they're big. They're big for their size and folded very intricately underneath very small elytra. So pretty cool. I wish I had pictures of one's wings at some point.
I could probably Google it, but in the meantime, so they would be. So this guy doesn't have wings, but they'd be folded under.
But they would be folded under, yeah, which you can see in the other picture.
In the other picture, all right, let's do that.
Yeah. So these are Marava arachitis. I've been calling them vibrant dwarf earwigs because they're really pretty and they're small. They're itty bitty. But
I'll give you that. These guys have some nice color to them,
right? Nice red on the abdomen. The little
yellow
spots, yeah.
Those little yellow peepers,
yeah.
I'm going to go out on a limb. See if this is a guess, a 50-50 chance, but this is the male.
Yep.
And this is the female.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah. So in most species of earwigs, the males' pincers are like bigger and more curved. They have more of a curve to them, whereas females tend to have shorter and just more straight pincers. So
like a prong, yeah.
So that's one way to help sex them, and females tend to be just fatter in general too, just more.
This is like
chubby. Yeah,
she's about double the size, but that could be.
Yeah,
is that normal?
That's pretty normal for earwigs. The European ones actually, the males do tend to be larger than the females.
Okay.
They're just more like impressive. Their pincers are huge compared to females, and they do get a bit longer on average as well, but they're not as fat, as like rotund as the females tend to be.
They've got to have that gadonk, right? To carry all those eggs.
Yeah.
So, what are you talking in a litter? Like, how many are you getting in a litter? You called it, or a clutch?
Depends on the species. For most, it's at least a dozen. Like these little Marava, I think they have about like 12 to 20 babies per clutch.
Okay.
The larger species, you're talking maybe more like 20 to 30 per clutch.
Oh, okay.
Like the European earwigs, they have very large clutches. I think at least like 25 to 30, if I remember right. Like pretty big clutches.
So these are easy to propagate.
They're very easy to propagate. They very prolific. You can start with just like a pair or two, or just a single wild-caught gravid female, and you're gonna have a substantial colony relatively easily.
I'm gonna catch some this year. I have tubs. I have vents from Eddie.
Yep.
God, I'm gonna keep earwigs. That's another thing I can't tell my wife. So
yeah, just shove them underneath a shelf or something. And
there's plenty of bins that are like translucent that you can't really see into until I show her. But I keep them kind of under something or in the back. She'll never know.
Yeah,
she doesn't even come near the bugs anymore.
And as long as the lid's airtight and there's no holes large enough for them to get out of, containing them is not that difficult. Again, most of them can't climb for shit. So then it's only really adults with wings that you would have to worry about, like getting to the top of a container and possibly squeezing out through the lid. But for the most part, they're really not that difficult to contain. But if they do escape and they get into other bins, they can wreak havoc. They are, again, pretty dang predatory. I feed mine mostly dog food, and then I'll give them the occasional like pre-killed insect as well. They seem to really like that. But I've even thrown in like just like dying like roaches that I just pinch the head of.
Okay.
And these tiny little dwarf earwigs will gang up, and all earwigs will, but just to show how aggressive they can be, these tiny little ones. I saw like a single subadult nymph of one of these attacking a roach that I had pinched the head of that was like, I don't know, 5 times its size. Like, it just went after it and was just like pinching it with its little pinchers and then just like biting it and like trying to drag it underground. And then once it had, been there for a while, others got in on the action and they were just all ganging up on it. So they can be pretty aggressive,
That's wild.
even towards things that are bigger than them. So, yeah, if these get loose in like an isopod enclosure or even some roach enclosures, they could do some damage if they start like breeding and stuff in there. If just one or two earwigs that aren't gravid get into any other enclosure, they're probably not going to do that much damage, to be honest.
Okay.
But
Justin,
once there's a bunch of them, they will kill everything.
Not good. That's kind of how my ants went. They'll go to bin if they have an escape. I actually have a bunch on my desk. I had an escape of about 1,500 a couple weeks ago.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I got most of them, but there's 4 on my drink right now. Checking it out. So, I have all the good snacks on my desk. So here we go. I'm playing it. Ran right off my hand. But yeah. So this is part of Sheila and who Sheila is. She's an expander. I'm throwing them into the open top aquarium that they live. I'm not just like, you live over there.
Get out.
They get to do that all the time. Yeah. I think it's fun. It's got to be fun, right?
Yeah.
At least a little bit. Can't hurt them.
No.
So, but yeah, I think they'd be really good as food for the ants. I think that'd be a really good idea.
I mean, you say they like them, so I assume they like them.
I haven't seen it yet because at 8 centimeters. Did you send that pic? I'm trying to get him to send a pic of. Oh, there's a gross.
Of the giant one?
Supposed to be. Yeah, let's see if he did it or not. Nope, not yet. Okay, I'm gonna unshare. Okay, we can share that later. I don't know what that Dr. Pimple Popper is doing there, but gross. Oh, here we go. Hold on, we're gonna share this. This is proof. People always argue with me that babies aren't ugly, and I will tell you that they are friggin' gross until they're 6 months old. Here is the proof. This is my own baby, who I think is beautiful, but like that's an ugly baby. I'm sorry. Like that's just not good. Like, look at that. I mean, look at that weird shaped head. She looks like she's totally drunk.
God, he's gonna grow up when they're older and see this video and be like, "What the fuck, Dad?" Showing my baby pictures in public and bashing me.
As we can tell here,
0 out of 10 in terms of baby attractiveness.
Yeah, I mean, this is pretty average.
In the mouth of your own dad.
How old would she have been? She was born in February, so like 3 months old. I got her propped up on this thing. She can't sit by herself. They don't do anything. Is that you? Is that me?
Is that me? It is me. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I just wanted to make sure.
I should have put my phone on silent.
Okay, this is a Mount St. Helena earwig.
Oh, I think those are extinct.
Oh, maybe.
I think the St. Helena, yeah, they used to be big black earwigs on that island that
terrifying.
Were eradicated by rats.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, there's an Australian species that gets about that big, though. The pincers aren't as long, but they get huge.
But they throw their pincers like a boomerang, so you got to watch out.
Yes, they throw them and then they grab them back and talk with an Australian accent.
G'day! All right, let's
G'day,
see
mate. What have I done?
Let's see yours. I don't know, but it's a sharp flannel.
It's sharp flannel, thank you.
And a clean floor. All right.
What is going on? Okay, here we go. So this is the giant arcane species.
I mean, that's still pretty big. What is that, like inch and a half?
About an inch, yeah. And so then this is a typical European earwig. So this is what if you find earwigs in your backyard here in the U.S. or in Europe, this is probably the species you have, or at least a sister species to the species you have.
Okay.
And so that's an adult female in there, versus an adult male of the arcane earwigs. So already that's a pretty big size difference. And I'm pretty sure the arcanes are U.S. native. I think they are.
Okay.
There are some Eubaurelia that are not native. I think arcanum are native.
He's ready to pinch. He looks mad.
Yeah.
Those pinchers are straight up and down.
Yeah.
Woo! He's fired up.
They got some big old pinchers. But yeah, see, like I'm even poking him on his pinchers, and he doesn't even pinch me. So they're not really used in
It's kind of
defense
for
that
show.
much. They're more so used. I've literally seen them though. Like they'll use them to attack insects that they're trying to subdue, and then when they're trying to like drag food away, they will grab it with the pinchers and just like walk away with it. Like that's how they
smart.
hold stuff. So that's pretty funny.
It's like a toe hitch.
Yeah. And
I
then
just saw a video of a platypus. So the platypus uses that beaver tail.
Yeah.
It scoops up like nest material and walks with it. Like it's like
that's cool.
it just goes around and like it was dragging it into its cave, like a bunch of grasses and weeds and stuff.
I saw a video of an opossum, Virginia opossum, that was grabbing leaves and putting them in its tail, like wrapping up a bunch of leaf litter, I guess, to bring into a nest or whatever.
Must be.
That was cute. That was so cute too.
I still want one, but
yeah,
my place is way too much Lego and
I would love an opossum. They live too short though. They only live like 3 years maximum.
Isn't that sad?
That's so short.
Such cool animals.
You're just buying heartbreak basically if you get one. But anyway, these are the dwarves. So I got dwarves, giants, and then the medium.
The medium.
The medium.
So that little guy in there, like, what is he, like, at L2?
That one? No, that's like almost half grown.
Okay.
The babies of these are like absolutely tiny, like only a couple millimeters long.
It's like springtail style.
Basically, they'll eat springtails too. I've seen these guys with springtails in their mouths.
I believe it. I mean, I've seen the videos of isopods eating the springtails, you know?
Yeah.
So, well, look at that. You got a little like, hey, man.
Yeah. Most of these are males in here. This one's female, but those 3 are males. And yeah, they'll fight each other. The males will sometimes, they get into sparring contests with their pinchers.
That's kind of what I thought they were for always.
Yeah, I think that's another major component, and that's why males tend to have the more exaggerated pinchers, I think, to use for fighting. The bigger the pincher, the better the chance the male has of winning.
Well, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And they have those crazy long butt muscles. They could just yeet the weaker one away.
Yeah.
Look at them trying to get. So you're talking, and all of these guys basically have the same care. They're in the same type of setup.
Yeah, I keep them all the same, and all the ones I've had, they have basically the same care requirements. They like high humidity generally.
Okay.
2 inches of substrate. Feed them dog food and pre-killed insects. I'll throw in fruit every now and then, but they don't seem to be the biggest fans.
Okay. Leaf litter?
Leaf litter, more for decoration than for food. For sure.
We were talking, who was I just talking to about this? I don't remember if it was last week or the week before. We were talking about leaf litter it was Eddie. It was Eddie. We were just on a call. So the leaf litter for the isopods, I know they eat it, but the dry stuff, they kind of eat it. But it makes like nanoclimates, right? For them to have like hides or whatever.
Yeah.
So they can adjust what they want out of that. But I guess if these guys burrow more.
These guys burrow mostly, so they're going to spend most of their time underground.
That's where they're going to find theirs.
Anyways,
Doing that. Yeah.
Okay.
Are there any, Frank wants to know if there's any borderline micro earwigs.
So these are the smallest, those dwarves are the smallest that I have, but there are even smaller species here in the U.S. We have, I think it's, what is it? Freaking labia minor is a species here in the U.S. I think they're native, and they're absolutely tiny. I think they're like that small. I think so.
Okay.
And they're found across much of the U.S. It's just they're so small and they're just like a dark brown color. They're matte in texture. They're not really glossy. They're almost like velvety. So this might be an earwig for you.
Might be an earwig for me.
Yeah.
Small.
Right. Yeah.
Shiny.
Yeah. So
Oh,
those are about as micro as it gets.
if you find any, if you
If
get a
you find
source, let
any,
me know.
send me some.
Yeah,
I
where
want
would they
them.
be? Do you
I
know their
want
range?
them. They're across much of the eastern U.S. I think some of the western U.S. too. I'd have to
I'm
look.
Midwest. I'm right in the middle.
Yeah, you might have them.
I'm in like Chicago
Yeah,
adjacent.
it's
So
just a matter of finding an area where they're not being completely wiped out by invasives,
okay.
and then
Well,
finding an absolutely tiny species of earwig too. Like
I
it's
definitely have what I think are these
yeah,
guys or the
the
European.
Europeans. Yeah,
So
almost.
I have them here in the basement. I
Yeah,
know. I've got like a ecosystem down here. There's jumping spiders. There's the cellar spiders. There's some kind of orb weaver. I've seen this year already a isopod spider,
hmm
which I tried to catch because I thought it would be cool to keep because I have plenty of food, right?
they are neat. Yes,
But they
another
still,
European species too.
yeah, they still creep me out. I remember being in my sister's kitchen and there was a big one, and she threw an empty plastic butter dish thing over it.
hmm
And we were like, okay, cool. Now get a piece of paper and we'll get them outside. And the butter dish started to move, like in a cartoon, like it started
Yeah,
to move.
like yeah.
Yeah. So I
You're
just
nope.
I used my size 14. It just was like, not today, Jesus.
Yeah,
And that was it for
yeah,
him. But like I had no idea they would be that strong.
yeah.
Yeah, Luch labia minor. That's genius. That's a genius name. Why they would name those two things that same thing is
I'm
not
pretty sure labia minora. No, wait. No, it is
minora
labia minor.
is
It is
the
labia minor.
minora is the part, is the
Yeah,
body part.
it's the body part. Yeah.
But
But
that's way too
labia,
close to an earwig. Like that's now that's gonna mess up my sex life.
yeah.
That's,
Oh my god. Yeah, if I type in labia minor, I have to,
yeah, that's an
specify
NSFW right there.
earwig because it just keeps bringing up the goddamn the body part. But yeah,
The body
yeah,
part.
they are also known as lesser earwigs, Luch. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're itty bitty, about
Yeah, just
5 or 6
Google
millimeters as adults.
somebody Google labia minor and then scroll down and see how far you have to go to find an earwig.
Yeah, like the
So
first
that's
images
awesome.
that come up are earwigs, but then everything is. Yeah, they're pretty widespread. What state do you live in again?
Me?
Yeah,
Well, I'm in Illinois. Yeah. So
they are found in Illinois.
okay, cool.
Yeah, they're all across the East Coast.
Well, I'm
But
gonna
yeah,
check
they're
it out.
just
I'm gonna look.
itty bitty.
Let's hope I don't drink an ant.
Habitat is described as around manure and on flowers. how opposite can you get?
Yeah, right.
So just
Manure
anywhere.
and flowers.
Often numerous under debris and manure taken in flight or at lights.
Okay. All
Okay.
right.
Well, yeah. Someone catch it.
We have dog manure in my yard now, thanks to asshole neighbors.
There you go. There you go. Just
So,
plant some flowers and
yeah, then I'm good.
You have those, Luch? Labia minor? Gimme. I want some. I'll trade you some pretty earwigs or big earwigs for those. I want them. PM me on Facebook. Because
See, what do these
I'm
look like?
wanting labia minor.
Oh, they are not as shiny.
Yeah, no, they're almost like velvety.
I don't know if I'd use that word, but I get what you're saying.
Pretty matte, yeah.
Satin.
Satin.
Satin. There you go. Yeah, I don't. Oh, they fully fly. These guys have wings.
Yeah, I mean most earwigs do.
Here they are with the wings out. Let's see. Can I make that bigger?
Yeah, look at that.
There we go. Oh, look at all the folds in that. That's like an origami wet dream right there. Like,
yeah, it's basically, their wings are basically just origami. Like it is crazy.
Because they have to fold up under this little flap right here.
Yeah.
What did you call it?
They fold up the elytra.
Okay.
So those are technically elytra on these guys. But yeah,
like a beetle.
That's multiple times. Yeah.
So relation? No relation to beetle. Distant?
No, more distantly related to beetles. More like in the ilk of like roaches and crickets and
Yeah, they kind of have that head.
those more primitive invertebrates. Yeah, that don't have complete metamorphosis. Yeah, they just have incomplete metamorphosis with the nymphs, eggs, nymphs, and adults.
That's it. That's
Yep.
it.
Yep.
And the nymphs are pretty much the same as
just wingless
the
adults.
adults.
Yeah.
Bugguide.net. That's a good source. What is
Love
this
Bug Guide.
horrifying thing?
That's a
The
web
hell
spinner.
remote?
That's something I need to get this year too. Web spinners. They produce silk with their front legs.
Their front legs. Oh, that's yep. There's some big ass feet right there.
Yep, and they make silken tubes, and they live in them.
So they
And,
line their tube by. Okay, they line their home.
Their home. They just have these little silken tubes, like when you get like Indian meal moths in your enclosures.
Yeah.
Have you had that? Yeah, and they got all the silken tubes. It's like that. They make those basically.
Okay.
And, they're kind of like earwigs in terms of diet too. They're pretty protein hungry, but not as aggressive as earwigs.
So what are they using that spinner for? What are they using the webs for? Just to line their
to make their little silken tubes. They try to never leave their tubes unless they absolutely have to.
Wow.
So they run the tubes up along leaf litter, and they just kind of eat leaf litter and other random like dead bugs and stuff as they go.
It makes me laugh because they have these giant wings, spinnerets on their feet. Yeah, and they just make a little hammock. They just
make little tubes. The wings are only for when they need to get out.
Like, could I fly? Yes. Am I gonna? No.
Am I gonna? No. Not while I'm in my home.
Just gonna chill.
Yeah. Yeah, those are cool though. I need to get some of those. I think Roach Crossing has some.
So you guys have the weirdest stuff. So I've been seeing so much wild crap come up on my feed or in other groups.
Yeah.
I gotta take this out too. For like people keeping, I want to keep different grain mites. I want to keep soil parasites. I want to keep, like, it's the most wild shopping list, and you're always at the top of that list. You and Alan, and I don't know who else. I can't name names on the other ones, but it's like just the weirdest crap ever. To me, okay, like I'm the guy that everyone I know thinks is the weirdest guy ever. I tell them, like, you don't even know how weird some of my friends are. I don't even rate. I keep kittens compared to these other people.
Yeah.
So
it's like I get I love roaches are my main thing. Yeah. But sometimes you get a little bored with like the same things over and over again. Like, oh, roaches. There's a lot of variety with roaches, but still roaches are roaches. And so I like branching out into a lot of the weirder stuff. So like every time I see a new interesting group of invertebrate, I'm like, I gotta keep those. I gotta have them. Yeah. So like this year, I've been pushing into a lot of like pseudoscorpions. I'm up to like.
I saw that. I like those
species. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those.
I like some of those.
Yeah. Mini garoons, weird harvestmen.
Yeah.
What earwigs? I'm trying to get a lot of earwigs this year. I have 4 species right now, but I'll have 5 tomorrow.
Nice.
Weird isopods, I keep seeing new things. Leeches, I got leeches. Yeah.
That's right. You got me hooked up with leech lady. Come on and do leech.
Yep.
Yep. I'm so scared.
The most hated groups of invertebrates are like ones that I kind of gravitate towards too as well. I don't know why.
I know why. I can see that about you. Like, that's definitely 100% your personality. Like, you're that guy.
I like the things no one else likes.
Yep.
Even beetles, like I keep the weird. I don't keep like rhino beetles or stag beetles or anything like that. I keep darkling beetles and the click beetles, which are 2 groups that aren't very commonly bred. Darkling beetles a lot of people keep, but not a lot of people breed consistently. But I'm all about breeding them, and then click beetles too.
Okay.
All the weird stuff. I like the weird stuff.
Somebody's got to, and I mean, it's cool. Yeah. It's cool to see, like, okay, I know a guy. Because I get, doing this show, I get a lot of questions from a lot of people that assume, like, I'm the expert. And it's like, I got a guy. I don't know.
I got a guy. I know a guy
who knows you up with somebody, but I don't really know anything about that, or I vaguely know something about it from Animal Planet or something. Drainfly cultures.
Drainfly, those are another thing that are weird that I keep.
That's the guys. That's a fuzzy little fly
Fuzzy
that you
little
showed.
moth flies. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yes, Frank, that's right. Wet leaf litter and 32-ounce deli cups. That's how I keep them.
And that's it.
Yep.
That's
Just
all you
throwing some
need.
dog food too. And yeah.
I want to get some weird harvestmen again too.
Yeah.
So.
I got some weird harvestmen available right now, Frank, if you want. I got the orange spiny Stignoma spiniferum from Big Pine Key. They're cute.
Nice.
They're small, but they're really cool and very very consistent breeders too. So I like them.
Good. What are you feeding something that small?
Those get mostly springtails and micro roaches.
Okay. I still need to get another colony of those.
Yeah.
So mine crashed somehow, and I think I might have fed too many off.
Maybe.
So I'll have to talk to you about those at some point too.
I got so many. I'll send you some for sure if you need more.
I'm sure. They my problem was catching them to get them into a container. So I need to find a better way to do that.
I just wait until they're breeding enough so that if I just lift up a hide and smack it over something, a bunch will fall out.
Okay.
That's basically what I do.
Because I was worried about them like getting loose and colonizing, but they're not really. It's not really a threat, really, right?
Not colonizing your home. They will breed in like most enclosures you put them in, though. But
I mean, that's fine.
They don't really bother much.
But they're not gonna like take over my house. I'm not gonna find them in my cupboards or whatever. Okay.
No. If you put them in an enclosure that they can get out of, though, you will be finding adult males in the house randomly.
Oh, because they fly, right?
They fly, yeah.
Yeah.
But they're not going to do anything. They just, what's that? What's that tiny little roach in the corner? Oh, oops.
Yeah. I can't say it's a roach. I'd have to be like,
it's a caddis
baby June bug.
It's something.
It's a baby June bug.
Baby June bug.
I'm so excited for cicadas now because I can feed them to Sheila.
You lucky bastard! Yeah,
and probably, I could probably feed them to Bingo too, right? The blue tongue.
Probably.
Did you go back underground again already?
You probably eat them. Cicadas. Yeah, I'm jealous. I really want to go over there this year and see them, but I don't think I'll get to.
I seriously want to ship you a box, but hey, TSA Aquarium is here. Hey, how you doing, bud? I do want to ship you a box, but I can only imagine every time they pick up that box at USPS or whatever. Yeah.
You're like, what the fuck is in here?
Yeah. Are we calling the bomb squad? All the people in my house.
Oh my god. Yeah. I think if USDA found out someone was shipping me cicadas, that wouldn't be great.
I'm gonna bet that would be a bad thing to ship.
Literal sap suckers, but
yeah, they're I hate them. So I would keep earwigs on me rather than have cicadas exist.
I love cicadas, man.
Yeah, I don't understand that. Like, why? If you like cicadas, comment in the comments and tell me why you love cicadas.
It can't
be like, because I used to drink lemonade with my grandma on a hammock, and they would be going, and it's such a beautiful sound.
It is a beautiful sound. I love it. It's it brings to mind summer, summer and warmth, good times, and cool bugs.
Some of the worst parts of summer. Yeah. Oh, look at that. Teza got my last name right. Don't put that out there, Teza. I have a nom de guerre for a reason. I say some awful shit on the internet.
It's Frank the Tank. I have Sosids, book lice / bark lice.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw that.
I don't have terrestrial amphipods yet. I got to get those this year.
Terrestrial amphipods? Is that the lawn shrimp?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had those. Those. Yep. I think I had them with isopods eventually. I think the isopods ate them while they were melting or something.
Probably.
So they're fun, but I don't know a way to. If I could come up with a way to keep them where you could actually see them now and then, because all you see is them dive into the dirt, and they're really cool to watch. Yeah. So, but catching them to use as feeders is
impossible. Basically, they're just a slippery.
Yeah, you're not going to get them with your fingers because you're going to crush them, and you're not going to get them in the net because they actually jump then. And They're really cool, but they are really cool, and they're super cheap for some reason.
Yeah, because
So
they breed so fast.
is that all it is?
They're pretty prolific. Yeah. Well, that and the fact that like they're one of those niche inverts that nobody wants, like earwigs. So
That's true. That's true. You can still get them. Like I think I got mine on eBay.
Yeah.
I've had such good luck with the eBay sellers of like invertebrates because I've never been screwed. And
I've heard horror stories, so it sounds like you're getting lucky.
I'm getting real lucky. I've made like lifelong friends over that. So Pod Solo, my first isopod purchase. Yeah. Cheyenne Boots, Houghton. Good fella.
Get on eBay.
Good fella. Yep, that's my buddy. Like Spike. Thanks, Frank. Yeah, let's get all 7 of you.
Yeah, come on, guys. Like, subscribe, share the video, smash that like button.
Just tickle it. Just
leave a don't. That sounds weird. Don't
like a labia minor. Just
no. Instant demonetization.
Oh, I found out what it takes to get monetized. It's never happening.
Yeah,
it's never happening. But then with that comment like that, I'm never getting a sponsor either. So
yeah, that's true.
Self-sabotage, bro.
I mean, you could get like a Bad Dragon or a Adam and Eve sponsorship.
Think about it. Check that out. Yeah.
Play to the adult audience.
We could do an episode on crabs.
Yeah.
Like pubic lice.
Pubic lice. Yeah.
You should keep those, bro. That's
one of my friends. Unironically, one of my friends, Jun Kai Wang. Probably not here in the chat, but he has been asking for pubic lice for research purposes. They're on the decline in the US because everyone shaves now. Seriously, like they're hard to find. No one has them. When's the last time you heard of someone with crabs in your life that you knew?
That was a while ago. It was probably like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
My buddy got them.
They're on the decline.
This is straight up. He got them regular ones, and then he got them in his eyebrows from a stripper. So, she was grinding his face, I guess, and he had.
Oh my god!
We were at a bar later, and we're like, "What is going on with your eyebrows?" He had pubic lice.
Oh my god, that's crazy!
His eyebrows, and I have not laughed that hard.
That's fucking rarely. Oh my god! Yeah,
I almost threw up. I was laughing so hard, started coughing, and then like almost threw up from coughing.
At least getting rid of them is pretty easy. Just shave your eyebrows out.
Yeah, I mean that's basically what he did. So.
Oh my god, look like a.
Brad, if you're out there, you just got outed, buddy.
Yeah, and if anyone's got him, hit up Jung Kai Wang on Facebook. He's looking for pubic lice.
He's looking for pube lice.
Say hashtag save the pubic lice. We need to.
I didn't know they were endangered.
Yeah, basically, in America at least.
Because we're gross. Oh it's so gross.
It is. It's weird.
Leave it natural.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Trim the bush, maybe, but don't. This episode has gotten so weird.
Yeah. I mean,
if you just dip out, I understand.
People making more money. Don't say that, man. You might need a sponsorship from Manscaped.
Oh yeah, all these commercials are so like. I think they're funny, but at the same time, I'm like, that would never fly.
Yeah, why?
15 years ago, you couldn't say that stuff.
Oh no, nope.
Yeah,
we're in the golden age, baby.
They open their commercial. Yeah. How do you want your balls to smell? Like that's the opening line, and you're
it's like what? This is allowed. These ads are allowed on YouTube, but you can't like say shit in the first 15 seconds of your video without being demonetized.
It is. You got to wait. I would sit if I got monetized. We would sit on a timer for 15 seconds.
Yes, just like dead silence. Just
and just be like,
"God fucking damn it! Welcome, all you
motherfuckers,
to the stream.
Welcome to ISO Buddies. You did it. You just nailed it. Our opening, guys. Like and share the video so we can get more."
Yes.
We get closer to monetization.
Yes.
We can play 2 seconds of any Diddy song.
Oh God.
What was the name of the human-specific parasite that went extinct years ago?
I don't know.
That
is beyond my knowledge.
Justin, get on that. Use your Google Foo. Let's find out. Justin is definitely my Googler. It's my Googler. We're close like that. We're close.
Yeah.
It just sounded bad. Let's make that a thing. Um, so you're keeping them in, well, a lot like ice pods, it sounds like, but more sand. What are you using, like 60-40?
More like I would say like 70% fiber, 30% sand.
Just play sand, whatever.
Yeah, just play sand.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah,
Super cheap.
it's not.
All of
I
that's
got
super cheap.
my giant earwigs actually just on plain coconut fiber because I didn't have sand at the time, and they've been doing fine in that. But then my Marva rachidis and my Euborrelia annulipes I have on sand and fiber.
No, you don't use anything like egg crate in there or anything like, you don't need hives because they burrow.
Not really. Yeah, they burrow. You can put a few pieces of bark on top of the substrate, and they'll go under that. So I
Okay.
do that just because it makes them easy to like harvest.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, do you have to dig through with like a
Yeah.
cat litter scoop to
Yeah,
get them,
so
or
yeah, like the
Okay.
arcane earwigs, they don't really hide that much under the bark I give them, so I do have to dig around for those.
okay?
But some of the others, like the Marva, they cluster underneath the bark, so I like to do that. But egg crates would probably not be used because they like things that are touching the substrate, and they make little burrows underneath. And egg
Okay.
crates, they go above.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
they
yeah.
don't really
Yeah.
use that much.
I didn't know if they would do that, or like if you kept it like, you know what I mean, two pieces together.
Yeah, that might work for like the European earwigs. I bet they would use that.
That sounds better because I want to harvest them as feeders. I don't want
Yeah.
them to go.
Yeah, so for your European earwigs, I would give them maybe a couple inches of substrate because the females will still make. They need substrate to burrow into to make their egg chambers, right?
Got it.
But then once they're more surface active, yeah, they'll probably cluster in between egg crate pieces. So yeah, do that. Yeah,
it's a good idea. I'm always coming up with cool things.
Mm-hmm.
All right, awesome.
Yeah, but yeah, they're pretty easy. They're pretty simple. Just make sure they got a lot of protein, a lot of dog food, pre-killed insects, almost dead insects, some live insects. So they're pretty protein hungry.
So whatever you got in there.
Yeah, and they do great. The only thing, so like with the European earwigs, those might require a diapause. Is the only thing, a winter cool period to breed yearly. That's the only thing. But a lot of the natives from down south don't need a diapause. So yeah, they're really easy, and I hope we see more people keeping our natives, our invasives, and hopefully we get some cool tropical species in the hobby at some point.
Let's get some morphs.
Yeah,
let's get some powder orange.
Get some more. Yeah, who knows?
Some whiteouts.
So they have some metallic green species over in Asia. We need some of those. That'll get people
pandas.
Some orange panda earwigs, some orange zebra sparkle lemonade ghost hypo melanistic albino leucistic earwigs.
Half scaber.
Yes.
Just wild. I just yeah, I'm surprised there aren't already like albinos, like something in the
I don't think I've ever seen a morph in an earwig, to be honest. I'm sure they exist. A lot of insects are weird though with morphs. Isopods, we get a ton of morphs, but like insects, like the pink katydids, some like really like light, almost albino roaches, I guess.
That's like from line breeding though, right? That's not like
line
lighter
breeding.
Ones.
Usually line breeding, yeah. I think the pink like katydids are one of the only insect morphs that I know of. That's like an actual morph, like a recessive, trait. But there's not a lot of others out there. White eyes is another weird morph that a lot of like roaches have. That is a recessive trait. Where their eyes are just straight white. Yeah.
Okay.
Those are neat. I got some medicinal roaches from a white-eyed strain.
Yeah.
Cool.
Jedi's saying he's finding that a lot of parasites are going extinct. Apparently, that's a bad thing. I'm going to guess that's regional. I'm going to guess these parasites probably going pretty hard in like...
in third world countries, yeah.
Yeah, like like those countries, they're probably still prolific.
If they're only parasitic on humans, though, is that such a bad thing? Like, how important to the ecosystem are they in terms of like feeding things and keeping things
I don't feel like parasites are. In some cases, you have your fish or whatever, your shrimp that clean the other fish or whatever, and like I think that's so fascinating. The fish line up. They line up at the reef to get taken care of. That's so amazing to me.
That's really neat. Yeah.
They just be hanging out, like all kinds of species just hanging out, like, hey, what's up, Ted? All right, I'm gonna get clean today.
Yeah.
So in that sense, yeah, I guess, but we don't have that.
Yeah, we don't have cleaners.
But we do have a biome. Like we have those crazy.
We have those little face mites that are in our skin.
Yeah. Come out at night, come out of your eyebrows, whatever. Get frisky and give you a big zit.
I heard those are like evolving to become like extinct / an inherent part of our own biology or something like that. Like, something I read something weird, some article about how they're like devolving and will soon be like just part of us. I forget.
Like your gut biome,
kind of like that.
Okay.
Like so they already kind of are, so I don't really get it, but yeah.
I feel like a lot of it
evolving. Yeah.
A lot of the discoveries we're making now are just like inherent knowledge. Like, of course.
Yeah.
You just are saying the same thing. I don't understand why you're making that distinction.
There's like something like their legs are like getting shorter, or they're less able to survive off of people and like be moved to something else. Like, it was something like that. I forget. It reminded me of something like similar to how like male anglerfish just like morph into becoming part of the females.
Yeah, they do.
And it's something like that, but with the mites with humans.
How wild is that? They just like get absorbed.
Yeah, that's
and
weird.
then are
like their life,
traveling testicles,
living testicles. Yeah.
Yep, that's it. That's it.
I wish that was me.
I don't know, man. I feel like we'd miss out so much if you were just testicles. Like, it'd be
no stress, no problems. You're just done.
Right? What are we missing about earwigs? Let's get back on topic.
Yeah, let's get back on earwigs. Earwigs.
What are we missing about earwigs?
Yeah. I don't know. People are just so put off by the fact that those urban myths about them going into your ears. That's not true. They look a little creepy, but like no more so than roaches. Like I know a lot of people that keep roaches that don't like the way earwigs look, and I don't get that because like
they have the same head. Like
to me, they look like just a skinny roach with little pincers at the end. It's like that's metal. That's awesome. How's that creepy?
Yeah.
I don't know.
They're kind of like long crickets. They just remind me of long crickets.
Yeah, they're like long cricket roaches with, scissors at the end of them.
Yeah, awesome. Like even crickets have those two prongs. They
have the little cerci, which I think these are just modified cerci. I'm pretty sure. Same as crickets. It's just they can pinch and they move. And yeah, they're really neat.
I just want to see one. I want to get them and give them a freeze-dried fish, and like with dairy cows, watch one try to drag it off with its.
They'll do that.
Ass pinchers.
They'll try it. And they'll just they'll tear that up too.
It's like a trailer hitch. Can we call them like
trailer hitch bugs?
I don't know. I got to come up with something. There's got to be some kind of like white trash trailer hitch. I don't know. There's something there. I'll come up with it.
Think about it.
They don't all just come to me,
Yeah. Something you got to workshop.
Yeah, you can't just rename yellow panda or orange pandas, red pandas.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you feed them? Oh, he was saying like a lot of protein stuff, like dog food.
A lot of protein, dog food, and pre-killed insects. Fish flakes, any of that protein stuff. They tear it up.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're pretty undemanding little guys, and I think more people should keep them because they're neat. And I would love to see more species. There's a lot of really neat species in the U.S. that I would love to see in culture, including those arcane earwigs I showed off. There's a species down south that's even bigger. What is it? Labradura riparia.
Okay.
They're like shore. They're called shore earwigs. So they're usually found on beaches, but I found them further inland in Florida when I lived there as well. And they're pretty substantial. They're like about 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches long for some of the adults, and they're big. Those ones are very territorial. They don't get along that well together. but I want some anyway.
Do you know how hard I would scream? You have no idea. If I flipped a rock and saw that, I would defensively fluid.
Yeah,
Deep fluids would be released. There would be a
and
scream.
those ones could. I think those ones pinch pretty hard too. They got really long pinchers, and they'll use them in defense.
Wow.
Those
Wow.
are they're really
I
awesome.
wanna see.
I want those. They're really pretty. Someone in Florida or one of the surrounding states, please find me some.
I know a guy.
I want big
we're
ones.
turning on to
big ones,
flipping
yeah.
rocks. Yeah. I was trying to get him to search me out an African land snail. Because they're already back. They announced that they eradicated them, and they're already back. It was gone for like 2 months, and some eggs hatched or something, and they're back. So
you want one though?
I do. I want a snail that gets like this big. I think that'd be so cool.
Oh my god!
I don't want to breed them. I just want hopefully one that's not already like gravid.
Well, they're around. They're around. I could find you someone probably who has them, but you gotta.
I heard they smell.
Never post about them.
No, I heard they smell like the slime or whatever has a pungent odor to it. So I'm kind of put off.
I think so.
No, okay, that might have just been. I hear a lot of things.
Yeah.
So,
no, they're neat. They're neat.
I like a snail. I think they're cool. Those giant black ones with the red.
Oh, those cool. Those Platydema tweedy eye or whatever. The Malaysian fire snails. Those are pretty.
They've actually incorporated like metals into their shell.
Oh, no, you're talking about the volcanic snails. Yeah, those are
cool. Yeah.
Those are cool. Yeah.
Yeah, those are dope. And then the painted ones, what are those ones that are like each shell looks like a different painting? Like it.
Oh yeah, I'm not sure what species that is.
I figured that out too.
Yeah.
Because they thought there were like just 10,000 species in this one area, and it's like no, it's the same.
Yeah.
They just are really cool.
You should have one of my friends, Satchel Watzker. He loves alding snails and slugs, and you should have him talk.
Hook me up.
Talk about snails. Yeah.
I like that stuff.
Yeah.
So,
cool.
What's breeding like for these guys?
In terms of like speed?
Like, no, what's the deal? Like, what are they like? You see I still don't understand really how isopods breed because they get their face to face and then their parts are.
These guys
are far away. I don't understand how isopods.
Yeah, I don't
get where they need to be.
That's true. I don't really understand that either. Now that I think about it, I just see the males like grapple on top of females, but I've never seen like the sperm transfer. Yeah,
they go
underneath.
So like this is the female head, right? The head is here, and the male comes over and he's like, "Hey, girl," but his as you can see, the booty butt is not where it's supposed to be.
Yeah, that's weird. Now I'm disturbed. Yeah, I've never really thought too much about how isopods mate, and now I've realized, I've never seen it. That's weird.
My second day having dairy cows, I stumbled across an orgy, and I was like, oh, that makes sense. I know how they breed. That's good.
Yeah.
But they don't.
Where does it hook up? Yeah.
Yeah. At what point? Because they'll hold on forever.
Yeah.
You think they're doing stuff, but it's
that's just like the foreplay. Like that's the prelude to.
Oh, maybe he's getting her in the mood.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm gonna have to ask somebody that knows more about isopods.
Earwigs, though, I've seen earwigs mating. It's pretty simple. They do it butt to butt. It's pretty funny.
Do they use those as claspers? Do they use the pincers?
No, I think the genitalia are like underneath them, and these are the pincers, right?
Yeah.
I think the genitalia are like underneath, like a little bit further up the body, and then they just like hook up there, and then usually it's like they're like crossed like that, and the female's usually dragging the male along as soon as I disturb him. She's just like tugging him, and he's like ah. So yeah, they kind of like roaches, basically.
So it's like heterosexual scissoring, is what you're saying?
Basically, yeah. Basically, yeah. They said, earwig scissor. I gotta find a mating pair, take a picture.
This is the best episode
with the caption "earwig scissoring." Yeah.
not for kids. This episode's
This
not
is
for
such an
kids. I'm
after
sorry.
dark episode. We should have put more warning.
I love this show. I love doing this show.
Oh my god.
I'm having fun. I hope you're having fun.
Yeah.
So, so mating is butt to butt, or back to back,
Yep.
and there's no kissing. There's none of that going on.
No, but I have a. It's funny you mentioned that. I have a picture of the pretty earwigs, and it looks like they're kissing.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah,
That's
they're like using their little palps and like interacting with each other.
Yeah.
It looked
Awesome.
like they were kissing. It was cute.
Awesome. Love it. I had a funny idea to say that you had a tattoo of, and now I can't remember what it was.
A tramp stamp.
No, it was like a words. Damn it. That's the only part I can remember is that it was some kind of words on your
Earwigs
body.
for life.
It had nothing to do with
With a
earwigs.
4.
It was like Dr. Seuss. It was like Katy Perry lyrics or something like.
Do you ever feel like a plastic bag?
That's it. That's deep. That's deep right there.
All the time, Katie. All the time. Oh.
That was going to be the getting to know you.
Yeah.
I need to do that segment. So we used to play a game when I worked in restaurants called My Lives. And so I try to get my banker friends to do it, and they won't. But you pick a person. In the bank, it's too easy because your banker, I'll tell you right now, your banker knows everything about you if they want to.
Yeah.
If they want to know about you,
Yes.
they know shit about you that you don't want anyone to know.
Okay.
Like, it's bad.
Yeah.
Don't ever let your girlfriend talk to your banker.
Okay.
Or significant other. But anyway, it was called My Lives. And so what we would do is if we were both waiters, you and me, I would go by and see that you got a table. And then my job / common courtesy is to go tell TJ, hey, you got sat at whatever table.
Yeah.
We would go up and be like, hey, you got sat at this table. Just so you know, their dog just had to get put down because they had cancer in its eyes. And but we'd make up this whole thing.
Yeah.
And his wife is probably going to leave him over it. You know, like it was just this tragic story usually. And then you would walk up to your table like, oh my God, like how do I make this a thing?
Yeah.
Or how do I like just be cool?
Yeah.
So you'd watch them like totally adjust their serving technique to accommodate this tragedy that didn't exist. Or you'd
so
find
sorry for
somebody.
they go to their table. I'm so sorry for your loss. They're like, what?
Your dog with the eye cancer? Like, well, how do you not know about this?
I'm allergic to dogs. What are you talking about?
It was either that or you would be like, hey, you got the crypt keeper at table 34. So that's the one that got me. I walked over to my own table, saw this lady who looked like the crypt keeper from Tales for the Crypt. I swear to God, she looked pretty much just like that dude. And I cackled laughing. I couldn't take it. I had to have somebody else take that table. Like I couldn't.
You just walk up to her at the table and start laughing at her.
I got like 10 feet away and I glanced at her and I looked away and was like peeing myself laughing. Like I never made eye contact even.
Yeah.
So that part was good.
Okay. But at least they didn't know.
I was devastated by that table. I was ruined.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
But anyway, I want to do something like that on the show where I make stuff up about you.
Okay.
That the guest. And then, so I think that'd be good. What do you guys think, the 6 of you that are still watching this show, that we kind of talked about earwigs?
What do I look like would be happening in my life right now?
Here's the thing. I try not to make it about like what you look like or what assumptions one
Just
would make.
something completely random that no one would guess.
Like the Katy Perry tattoo.
Yeah.
Who would assume that TJ has that? Nobody. Like any gross insect could definitely be tattooed on your body.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. That's just a given.
TJ can do booby tassels. He can get them going. Counter. Oh
my God.
The rainbows were the ones I was wanting. They ran out of stock. Rainbow what? Thai rainbow millipedes?
Talking about millipedes?
A gigas. Yeah.
Guys, this is an earwig stream. You can't talk about millipedes.
I know.
On an earwig stream.
So these guys are not a good kook, right?
No, you would never keep them
Not as a kook.
with
No.
anything that you wanted to survive. Yeah.
So you think they would attack like reptiles and stuff too, if they could?
Well, okay, well, maybe not vertebrates.
Okay.
You know, I think like if you put them in like a lizard enclosure, they'd probably just get eaten by the lizard.
Yeah. Sure.
But invertebrates, yeah, they'll mess them up. Most isopods, they'll probably eat. Large roaches might be safe. But yeah, they anything that's like not like enormous compared to them, they'll eat at least the babies of, you know. So they're pretty opportunistically carnivorous. So I would not recommend them as a cleanup crew for sure.
Okay.
That
I
being
just want
said,
to put that out. I would never.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would use them as possible feeders for robust.
Possible feeders / just pets in their own right. But yeah, don't be keeping them with anything else.
But now the pets, like, they're another one of those box of dirt pets.
Yeah.
Like,
I
how
like
often are you checking on them? Yeah, you do. How often do you go check on them?
Like how often do I have to do maintenance on them?
Maintenance check. That's my whole thing is I do a maintenance check.
Yeah, once a week.
Okay.
But then, like the Marva, for example, and some of my other species, if I just want to look at something cool, closure, lift up a piece of bark and watch them all scurry, and it's like, oh, these guys are doing well.
That's good. Yeah.
So there's, it's not that much. The Marva, the little pretty guys, they're actually pretty surface active too. Like whenever I open their enclosure, there's usually a few on the surface, like looking around for food and stuff. So it's a neat little, kind of a pet dirt box, but you do see them.
I want you to do me a favor.
Mm-hmm.
I want to do part of a study.
Okay.
A very like loose study, but see if you can put in like some of these lichen branches that we've been seeing, like maybe a little bit, and see what they do with it.
Okay.
See if they're interested in it, if that brings them out.
I can try that.
I'm always interested in these detrivores. Like, so here's what I hate about box of dirt pets.
Yeah.
Because I want to see them. I want to see activities. I know you're not going to see that with a burrowing. I saw you have Hilaria brevicornis, right?
Yeah.
I saw you have you have every gross version of every animal ever. Like, I don't know why Hilaria to me are gross. They just look like they didn't molt right. Does that make sense?
I get what you're saying. Yeah, they look like incomplete. They look like an isopod fetus that came to life and got huge.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I want them. I want them for real because I think if you're gonna make a marble run for an isopod, that's the one to do it for.
Yeah,
because they're big.
Mm-hmm.
So they're big boys. So
basically marble sized. Yeah,
they're like the largest known terrestrial isopod, right?
The largest conglobating terrestrial isopod, the biggest one that can curl up.
Right.
In culture, there is a shore living species in Africa, Tylos granulata, that gets even bigger than those.
Okay, but they're like on the ocean. They're on the coast.
They're on the coast, but technically Hilaria are sometimes found on coast as well.
Okay.
Yeah, but
terrible.
Those are Tylos and Hilaria are like sister genre to each other as well. So
okay.
Yeah, so they're basically the same thing, but bigger.
I got it. I'm trying to find out why I'm terrible. Taysa, you need to be more specific about why I'm terrible in this instance. Because in general, yes. Pretty terrible dude. But so anyway, back to the point. So I started with parvis, right? This is when my mind started like, okay, these are gonna burrow a lot. They're small. How am I gonna see them?
Yeah.
And so I talked about this last week too, I think. So I got one of those ant farm things that's about inch and a half wide, and about 6 inches tall, 8 inches tall, and like a foot wide.
Yeah.
And then did layers of there was a bottom layer that was gravel, so like a false bottom, and that like fishing, aquarium gravel.
Yeah.
Then there was soil, a decent amount of soil and moss and whatever shredded up so it'd hold moisture down there.
Yeah.
And then grades of soil and bits of bark, soil, bits of bark. So that would create cavities that I could see. And that worked really, really well until my cats knocked it over.
No.
Yeah, they've caused me so many problems. They cost me a winter ant colony, which are super hard to keep, and I was going to give it a shot because I get blindly lucky with things.
Yeah.
But that worked really well. So I'm always trying to think, what can I use to enhance this for myself? Because otherwise, I don't want to keep it. And I think that having something like that or a suggestion for that for earwigs would make more people keep earwigs, like be interested in that.
Yeah. Well, I will say, with these and a lot of other burrowing things, even burrowing isopods, when you have enough of them, there will always be some on the surface.
Yeah.
Like these earwigs, basically all the earwigs I have, like once the colony's like really established and they're breeding well and they start like filling up the enclosure a bit, you're gonna see them on the surface. You know, you open up the enclosure, you're gonna see them. They might like scurry, you know, once you open it, but you're gonna see them. So you don't really have to dig around for them. So that's the thing. Once they get numerous enough, you can do that.
It's like duckies. Okay. So it's like rubber duckies. All right.
Basically. You could try an ant farm like setup. That would work well for a lot of the like Euborrelia species that really burrow a lot.
Yeah.
That would work pretty well for viewing them. And it's cool to see them when they make their egg chambers alongside the glass. Like it's really cool to see the mothers like caring for their babies. So that would be a cool way to keep them and view them, I think.
Yeah, I think I've also done I'm gonna change that out this week at some point. But because I have too many in there now, but I have for my destroy, I wanted to see them more because they're slow breeders, but I have a ton now apparently. So I took a jar and then I took a smaller jar and I filled in between with, you know, my substrate layers, leaf litter, all that. And now there's a ton of leaf litter on top. There's kind of cork hides, it's mostly leaf litter. And I could see them. So that's what I did with my duckies initially. And then I gave most of them away, and then the rest of the colony crashed. Whatever was left is crashed. But even when I just had small numbers of duckies, I could see them all the time. There was always a time I could just turn the thing until I could see them, and then I was good. And did starter burrows. Do you think that would work too? Where I just took a toothbrush or the end of a pen and just jammed a hole in it against the glass, and then they would immediately use that burrow. To start with.
Earwigs might do that, or they might just say screw it and make their own burrows.
Do they just dive in? Do they
They just dive in, anywhere they want, and then just make their burrow there. Okay. So they might, but given a starter burrow, if that's the first thing they come across, they might just use that
for a bit anyway.
Just go straight down, yeah.
And you can put food in there or whatever. Because I feel like being able to see them
makes a difference.
That's why I think it's sad that people sell duckies so much. Not that people sell them, but people are so interested in the rubber duckies is because you're never going to see it unless you buy 50. Which let me know if you want to buy 50. You got money, and I can sell you better isopods. But if you can buy 50 at once, awesome. You're going to see them. It's going to be great. But otherwise, you're going to be waiting 6 months. Before you see any of these expensive isopods. So that actually, to stop talking trash about duckies for once, they get pretty big. Like, that's a good size isopod.
Regular rubber duckies, and then the blonde duckies that aren't the same species as the species rubber ducky. They both get pretty big.
So blonde is not a morph; it's a different species.
Well, there is a blonde morph of the rubber duckies, but then there's also Cubar species blonde, which is unrelated. So they look like duckies, but they never come fully colored like rubber duckies did. And they get a bit bigger too. Which is good. But then those came in, and then someone got the orange morph of rubber duckies going and decided to call those blonde too for some stupid reason. So now there's confusion. There's rubber ducky blonde, rubber ducky blondish, and then there's the blonde duckies, which are the different species. And it's like, why?
Gingers. Call them gingers. Call me.
Call them something else. Why would you use the same name for two things that are so close in appearance? Yeah,
Someone
I don't know.
call me. I will give you advice. Like I'll give you 3 names you can
Yeah,
choose from.
yeah,
That are marketable, recognizable,
yeah,
and individual.
yeah.
So I'm here. I'm here. Message me on Facebook. I will name the shit out of your isopods.
Yes.
I'm really, really good at it. I feel responsible for changing the people that call them orange pandas to red pandas. I
Yeah.
feel responsible, and I'm excited that that's a thing. I will take credit for it because I had outrage. So we still have yellow zebra isopods, which I think is the dumbest shit ever. Like, there's no yellow zebras, but there are bumblebees. Why would you not call it bumblebees?
Because it's just yellow, the yellow morph in zebras, basically. I
Pinche
guess
huevo
it's
baboso.
just a yellow morph. Yeah, a yellow
I
zebra.
get it. I mean, I get that part, but it's like you had an opportunity and you
Yeah.
whiffed. You whiffed. You could call them maculatum. What I mean, they're still maculatum. Like,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
White tigers. That's one that's like by.
Yeah.
Cappuccinos,
I want
amazingly
like
named.
tigers. Huh?
Cappuccinos are amazingly named.
Yeah.
So
Pretty apt.
we need some
I
good
have
common names.
I have cappuccinos. They haven't bred for me yet. I'm a little
They're slow
concerned.
breeders.
They
They're
are?
slow
Okay.
breeders too. Yeah, yeah. I want them. They're on my list. So yeah. I'm very loath to. I get offered things all the time, and I'm very
Yeah.
loath to take things from
Take
someone
them,
without.
man. This is
I
how I
know.
build my collection by taking when people offer me stuff. I say yes, thank you. You
I
know,
just am so
don't look a
loath
gift
to do
horse
it.
in the mouth. That's my
Yeah,
philosophy.
I say that as I sit behind my very free blue tongue skink,
Yeah.
who went back underground apparently.
Oh.
Oh, she ate all her food though. That's good. I hadn't seen her in like 4 days.
And she left.
That's good. That's what I want her to do. Like, I want her to chill out.
Yeah.
She's about to get some outside time.
Yeah.
So
Ooh.
yeah, got one of those cool playpens.
Oh, okay.
But Paraka, aka Alloy. Yep, I did that too. Is that a thing? Is that catching on, Luch? I named Paraka Alloy on Russ's show.
Mm-hmm.
So
Alloy.
if that caught on,
really pulley.
they're very metal.
Mm-hmm.
They're very metal, and they come in all these different shades. Like, it was either going to be grayscale or alloy, and I thought alloy just sounded more metal.
Yeah.
Like metal.
Yeah.
And they're such great underrated isopods. If you want a great isopod as a pet, like, you're going to see it. It's going to be out. It's going to be doing things. Parakai is
I've never had them. They sound
top
good,
shelf. They're so cheap. They're super cheap because they breed like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
They're an armadillidium, right?
Yeah.
So they breed like crazy. They have a different shape though. They're like kind of flat.
Okay.
And have like, so they're scoots. What are they? Are they scoots?
Scoots.
You know what I'm talking
Segments,
about.
whatever. Yeah.
The segments kind of have like this flattened out edge to them. So when they column bait, they have like blades
like
almost.
A clamshell, like.
Yeah, kind of. And they're braille looking. Like they have like a braille texture
like
to them.
Bumpy. Okay. That's cool.
Yeah. So
yeah, I've never kept them before. It sounds like I might need to get some.
Yeah, Russ asked me what I would use as a common name, kind of as a joke. And I said Alloy. So immediately just popped out. So oh yeah, so you're getting offered some by Luch. So just yes, Luch, send him some
I might have to, along with the earwigs I definitely need from you.
They are send earwigs first. That's priority. But
earwigs are priority.
Yeah, see, people that keep Parakai in their massive collections, they're still in their top favored. Yeah. And I would have known about them. I got them for free in an order. You know, people will throw in like a bonus culture or whatever. Yeah, that's what I got. And it was a cheap one. I looked at I didn't know that. I was like blown away by what this person sent me for free. The Supreme Geckos, Wally.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, who would send these for free? I didn't order these. I was like, I need to message him and be like, you made a mistake.
Yeah.
But that was in the box where he sent me 100 powder blues in the box. The box popped open, or the container popped open in the shipping. Oh, no. So I opened the box and it was just powder blues. And my wife was so pissed.
Oh my God.
So pissed.
Dude, that sucks.
It was bad.
Oh,
So not
yeah.
his fault at all. The box had
Mhm.
taken a beating on the way in.
Yeah.
And I don't know what happened, but there was
Yeah.
like powder blues everywhere. And I
I
was like,
think, yeah, I think I've only had that happen once to me where where a cup opened up in shipping.
yeah.
I think most of the things I ordered were still inside, thankfully, but I think it was roaches, some sort of roach, and most of them were still in the cup.
Oh
But a
my
few got
God.
out, and it was like, what? And the box was fine. It wasn't like it had gotten smashed or anything. It just one of the cups opened up. Yesterday, I got a box that it was like one of those medium flat rate boxes, right?
Yeah.
And one half of it was completely smashed in. There's a hole in the box. You can see the paper inside just ripped open. I don't know what the hell happened. Everything was fine though. Nothing fell out. All the bugs were fine. None of the deli cups opened up. But I was like, what the heck? What happened to that box?
I don't know what shipping. You can't count on shipping anymore. It's so bad.
That's the worst shaped box I've ever received. I've never had, I think one other time I had one that was like a little smashed, but
Yeah.
the box wasn't even opened or anything. But yeah, this time it was bad. I've never had that happen before. But
No.
everything was fine though. So
that's good. I guess no harm, no foul, but
right. Yeah. But it's funny where it's smashed though, there was a deli cup there. And so the deli cup was like bent, but still not open. So that was a little lucky.
That's good packaging. Who sent you that box? Because we need to shout out their packaging skills.
That was a Junior Marquez, or Alberto Marquez on Facebook.
I don't know who that is.
I think actually he goes by Junior Marquez on Facebook. He's a roach guy. He's got a good selection of cool species. He keeps a lot of neat stuff, but mostly roaches. But yeah, I think Shiny Larvitar something on the roach forum as well. He's a good guy. Roach people probably know him.
Roach people.
Yeah, I like him. I do a lot of business with him. Yeah, we get a lot of neat stuff. So yeah, I like him. Great shipping. And yeah, the bugs survived that ordeal.
It's wild.
Yeah.
It's wild what they can get through.
Oh,
crazy. Or they'll be lost. I've seen people, it hasn't happened to me, but I've seen people where their shipment is like just touring the US. Mm-hmm. While the tracking is just going all over the US. It stays in California for a couple of weeks. It's supposed to be in Illinois.
Yeah.
And then finally it arrives. You're like, you've given up on it. You're like, I've never seen that package. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Maybe you got a refund from the shipper because they felt bad for you.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it shows up and
everything's fine. And it's like
fine.
Yeah. Yeah. I had ice pods sent to me from West Virginia they got lost. And they took like a month to arrive. I think maybe over a month even. And so the shipper sent me more, like sent me replacements because we thought we were never going to see them again. Yeah. But then that first box arrived like a month later and everything was alive. And this is like in winter. And it was like, cool. What the heck? Yeah. That's cool. It was all like US native isopods, so it kind of makes sense. But yeah.
That's my discussion with people. Like, I say freeze your stuff. Like when you're sterilizing, freeze it. Because earwigs is something you can get as a stowaway. So that's something you want to be careful. Leaf litter, moss, logs,
like logs and stuff. Yeah. So definitely sterilize your materials.
So find a way. So the drowning technique will work for them. I still have to test. I'm going to do a live test of the CO2, the dry ice thing. Yeah. So I want to do that just because it'll look cool.
Yeah.
But to just like CO2 them out. But I don't know how long they can hold their breath or whatever.
Yeah.
But I guess they would just be breathing it in. They wouldn't know anything was wrong.
Yeah.
Anyway, but sterilizing is a reason.
Freezing is very unreliable in my experience, especially for a lot of stuff that can, like most mites, they can survive freezing as eggs. I froze a batch of substrate that I got that had for isopods that had a bunch of lesser mealworm beetles in it, and I froze it overnight, and I pulled it out of the freezer, and it was a solid block of ice substrate.
Okay.
And then I used it, and within 24 hours, I noticed that there were larvae and even some adult beetles crawling around that survived freezing. So,
overnight. It's just overnight.
Heat treating is the only method I trust for sterilization because that's the only thing that's going to kill everything.
I'm against it.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the stuff that we worry about with isopods is not really a threat to isopods.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
isopod
For
collection, if you're going to use it for other things,
yeah. If you use it
go
for other
ahead.
things, yeah. Like honestly, some of my isopods I do give unsterilized leaf litter lately, just because
Yeah.
I can't be bothered to sterilize it for all the isopods that I have. Because like most of the pathogens and pests and stuff I'm worried about with my insects don't really
Yeah.
affect isopods, and I keep my isopods away from a lot of the insects I'm worried about with that stuff.
Yeah, your more sensitive stuff.
Yeah.
Your 350 species.
Yeah. But like, yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Leaf litter's a little less important. I leave mine in bags
Yeah.
in the garage until like
Same.
for months. It's for
Yeah.
months. If something survives in there, like it's not because it's eating bugs.
Yeah.
It survives in there because it's eating dead leaves, which
Except
is
for the thing I worry about with that and why I do sterilize it for my insects is for entomophagus fungi, which can survive the spores for a very long time. And that fungus is used routinely in my area because it's pretty agricultural out here in Idaho. It's used as pest control.
Okay.
So like I'll grab a bunch of leaf litter and there will be dead insects in the leaf litter that are covered in entomophagus fungus, and it's like,
oh, that's not good.
Yeah, shouldn't. And I've had mass problems with invertebrate cultures just dying out because they got that fungus, and
I would cry so hard.
It destroyed them. Yeah, I've lost some rare roaches and some darkling beetles I'll probably never get back as a result of using unsterilized leaf litter.
That's sad.
But for isopods, this doesn't affect them at all. So again, that's the thing. So the isopods don't care.
That's why I love them. They're just indestructible.
Yeah,
for the most part.
Although I think my friend Alan John, actually got what was it? He sterilizes all his leaf litter for isopods now because he got like that porcelain disease from his isospores. It's like it's not actual porcelain disease, but it's similar to porcelain disease, which is a disease that what is it? Freaking crabs and other crustaceans get.
Okay.
And so there's kind of a terrestrial equivalent that's actually a type of bacteria that it basically accumulates underneath the skin of the isopods, I'm pretty sure, and it like stiffens them up and it makes them unable to move, and so it slowly looks like they're turning into porcelain, like from underneath.
Oh wow!
And then it kills them. And a lot of isopods though will like get over that infection, like as a colony, they'll grow more resistant to it, and then eventually it dies out. But if you don't have that large isopod colony to begin with, and they get that disease, it can wipe them out. And my friend
it can travel to all your other colonies so easy.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Like if you don't know you have it, and you're going from bin to bin,
and then you're like, "Why are my isopods walking funny?" And then all of a sudden they're dead, like a few weeks later.
Until you notice, like you're not checking on them for 2 weeks at a time.
Exactly. So using unsterilized leaf litter can get you that fungus with isopods. So that
all right.
So that is a concern. Not it, but again, it's rare. So you can get away with not sterilizing leaf litter for your entire life and not have it happen. But
here's the problem.
When you do have it happen, it kind of sucks. So
here's the problem with that, kids, is that the more we get from other people, you could be buying some from somebody that doesn't have those practices, and you're buying infected isopods.
Exactly.
And, that's not good. So we're gonna have to start quarantining our isopods.
Just be careful. Yeah, just be careful and with what materials you use and the sterilization processes you use, because again, freezing I don't think would kill that bacteria.
Okay.
So
probably not.
So that's the thing. That's why I advocate for heat sterilization, because that kills most things. And it kills beneficial bacteria too, but beneficial bacteria will be re-added to whatever medium you put your isopods on. Like if they just poop on it, they're gut loaded with beneficial bacteria, and so that will eventually recolonize whatever you give them. So
I could use my isopod tea on that to
basically
re-inoculate it.
Yeah.
If you know what isopod tea is, you take some frass and you pour some frass into a filled water bottle and seal it and just let it sit. And it's gonna be great. It's great for your plants. It's great for if you don't like your cat, you can put it on your cat.
You can just use regular water for that too.
Yeah, but I don't know, make it gross. Yeah, you could do a whole lot of things.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you can buy leaf litter. If you buy leaf litter from someone, apparently someone reputable, they have to sterilize it to ship it. So, if that's their business, so it has to be sterilized.
The only times I've bought leaf litter from people, they definitely didn't sterilize it.
I'm gonna be sending some to Eddie. I'm not sterilizing it either.
Yeah.
So it's gonna go in a bag. It's gonna be the stuff that's aged.
Yeah.
So it's gonna go in a bag and compressed and then shipped. So get him as much as possible. Poor guy lives in the desert. He can't get leaf litter to save his life.
Same.
So sad. So sad.
It's so barren here.
And I'm just like drowning in it. I have 6 of these massive bags in my garage.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I have 2 down here that are mostly full, and then 6 packed ones in the garage. So
lucky. Yeah, I have to scrape and scrounge for my leaf litter. It's ridiculous.
So sad. I've raked my neighbors' yards.
Might have to get some off of you, actually.
I'll let you know. I'll trade you some.
I'll trade you some. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
You pay for shipping, because that's.
I'll give you some earwigs.
Maybe.
I'll give you some earwigs or some leaf litter.
Maybe micro roaches.
Micro roaches and earwigs.
Perfect. My wife will love that shipment.
Yes.
I'll have to take it right downstairs. Like.
yeah. There's nothing in here. Nothing to see. Just springtails. I got new springtails.
Right. Got new springtails from my man Ryan.
Yeah.
So, did we miss anything, guys? Are there any other questions you have about earwigs? We covered that they don't go in your ear already, so please don't ask
in your ear. You can put them in your ear if you want to. I wouldn't recommend it.
It probably doesn't sound like a good idea.
No.
Like, I'm sure someone has had them in their ear. Yeah. I'm sure it's happened.
Yeah, I'm sure. A lot of bugs can get into people's ears.
Well, because you hear about roaches kind of a lot.
Yeah. Just because those are, the pest ones are found in close association with people. So if anything's going to be getting in people's ears, it's something that people have a ton of in their house.
Yeah. Frank, here's the thing. If you guys don't know this already, this is one of my pro tips for collecting leaf litter and white rot wood or whatever you need for your enclosures. Go to your local cemetery. Oh, that was a good idea. But go to your local cemetery. Here's what they do. They rake all that shit up and put it in a big pile in one part of the cemetery. If you talk to the groundskeepers, find out if they use pest control. Most don't, because who cares? Who cares if there's mosquitoes at the cemetery? So no one cares.
Yeah.
It's a cost that they don't need. So anyway, they'll have all that stuff just piled up somewhere. You can go with your bags, your boxes, whatever, load up, take it home. It's good to go. It's all hardwood, or 90% hardwood.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know of an ice pod culture that crashed because you gave them some pine. I've never heard that. I've heard people go, "Oh, there's sap," and they would encounter that in the wild. So I don't know.
It's not going to cause your entire culture to crash.
No.
Unless you're putting big wads of sap in there and just saying like,
probably a bad idea.
Let's see who doesn't get stuck in this.
Fresh chewed bubble gum.
Yeah.
But yeah, just go. That's a pro tip. Everybody's got cemeteries, and a lot of them have trees. So bring spirits. Yeah, you could bring spirits.
Yeah.
So burn some sage, or what is the other?
Burn some demons, and some wood, some hardwood leaves.
Yeah. Having lived in a cemetery, this is a real thing. I lived in a cemetery
for like a year.
So I don't know how this all happened, but my grandma got property or got access to property in the back of a cemetery.
Mm-hmm.
So literally you drove through the cemetery to get to her house with a trailer.
Wow.
She put up a trailer. She moved into like an old folks living apartment.
Mm-hmm.
She kept the trailer, didn't sell it. So if you were like down in your luck in my family, you got to just go live at the trailer.
Okay.
So I was down on my luck, and I lived there for like a year. And weird shit happened. I'm not going to lie. Like weird stuff that I can't explain happened. I was never that guy that's like, oh, ghosts. But I don't believe in ghosts. I don't think it was like grandma and grandpa. I don't think they were there. But weird things definitely happened there. But yeah, I never got, I never took anything with me. My mom was like, nothing happened to me when I stayed there. And I'm like,
Yeah.
That's because you're kind of a jerk, I guess. I don't know. Like,
Wow.
I'm cool.
That's cool though.
Yeah, it wasn't weird.
Living in the cemetery, that's a neat story.
Yeah, driving that being your driveway is
Yeah.
like the weirdest thing.
It's a good way to pick up goth girls and be like, hey, I live in a cemetery.
Yeah, I'm not into. If I was into that, I would have been just. It would have just been raining labia minora. It would have been just crazy. But full circle, baby. Full
circle, right back to labia minora. Oh my god.
But no, there was no. It was dry. It was real dry in that area.
It was real dry. That sucks, man.
Nobody was down. Like, where are you taking me? I'm out. I'm just gonna jump out of the car now and run.
This guy's a serial killer. He's gonna bury me with all the other dead. Oh my god.
All right, TJ. 2 last questions.
Mm-hmm.
Bear or man?
Bear.
Bear. Absolutely. 100% bear. I don't know anyone that said man.
Yeah.
If you say man, you don't know enough men.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry.
Bears you can scare away with loud noises. Well, black bears.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Black bears are not really a threat that much to people. And I feel like a bear doesn't necessarily see us as a prey item unless they're hungry, like most bears.
Yeah.
Unless they're like, man, I was really
grizzlies are pretty scary, but
polar bear would eat you for
polar
sure.
bears hunt people, yeah. So that is definitely.
I don't think you'd find them in the woods though.
No, yeah. So I'm taking my chances. Black bears most likely. So yeah, I'll go with the bear.
You go with the black bear. All right, fair. Fair. I've seen them run from cats. So
yeah.
So
yeah.
Second question.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of superpower would you have? You could have one single superpower. What would it be?
You asked me this before, and I'm going to go with a different answer this time.
You might have been the first person I asked this to.
Maybe. I'm gonna say super strength. You can lift things and make work easier.
Lift
all these heavy containers easier.
Yeah, lift bigger rocks to find bugs.
Yes, lift bigger rocks to find bugs. Oh my god, you know the amount of huge lava rocks there are here in like all the natural areas that if I could just lift them up, how much stuff would be under those? Yeah, super strength.
You would need to have a small person, like a dwarf friend. You lift the rock and they go under and collect everything.
So they go under and just grab everything real quick. Yeah.
We just put the rock back down right where it was. You didn't really disturb the ecosystem.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah. So yeah, super strength for the collection potential. Yeah.
Super strength. Last time, what did you pick? Flight?
I think I picked flight. I think
flight's a good one.
Yeah, it's a good
Flight's a good one. Just go where you want. You don't have to wait for traffic.
Yep.
Like, just the practicality of it is great.
Yeah. Flight and strength are like the most popular ones. Invisibility for perverts.
I feel like that is legitimately just
who else is going to pick invisibility except for fucking yeah.
Let's break some down.
Yeah.
Are you in a hurry? Do you have to go?
No, I'm not. I'm in no hurry.
We're going to do 10 minutes on superpowers.
All right, yes.
All right, so let's see. So perverts are for invisibility.
I feel like super hearing is for really nosy people and also maybe perverts.
Yeah, okay, could be. Creepers.
Let's see. Swimming is for
like Aquaman.
Losers. Yeah.
I love Aquaman, so I'm sorry, but
I'm sorry, but
aquatic
it's pretty
things.
lame. It's a pretty lame.
Kind of a lame superpower.
We have scuba diving suits already, so.
But that's a whole thing. You got to charge it and have
but
I don't know. It's useful. I wouldn't choose it.
Yeah.
It's not on my top. Teleportation.
Okay. That's for someone. Wait, for who?
Procrastinators.
And people who just like maybe criminals who just need to get criminals because you teleport somewhere, teleport into a bank, take the money, teleport out. No one sees you. So I feel like the most practical applications for that are for getting away from problems. So that's a good criminal superpower.
Fair. Justin doesn't want super hearing. You can keep your trauma for yourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like he would go insane if you can't turn it off.
There was a comic where the guy had full super senses, like Daredevil level.
Uh-huh.
If you don't know, Daredevil has all the senses super heightened except sight.
Yeah.
This guy could see. but he was like, it was like torture for him to be
Yeah.
out and about. He
Yeah.
had this like chamber that he had that was like soundproof. Nothing
Yeah.
was in there. Like
I feel like
sense of touch was.
most people, would just go insane with that kind of stuff.
Well, when I get migraines, I get like super senses.
Yeah.
So I'm always like, if I could harness the super senses without the
Without
excruciating pain,
the horrible pain. Yeah.
yeah, I could be like a detective or something. I don't know.
Be like Sherlock.
Yeah, mind controls for rapists.
Yep. There you there you go. Yes.
We saw that on. Yep, that's 100%. We saw that on. What was that? Jessica Jones. That was
I feel
his
like
whole
also
thing.
freezing time too
Freezing time.
for rapists.
That would be a good one. Yeah, I mean I could see them abuse that.
Yeah.
I can see a lot of other reasons for freezing time though.
Yeah. Yeah. It'd
be kind of fun, like pranksters.
Again, I feel like that's a good criminal thing though too. Again, rob a bank. Freeze
Almost
time.
every superpower is good for criminals.
I guess that's true. I gotta stop. Why am I looking at it that angle? That's a little. That's not good.
Yeah, you could fly. You could get away. You could teleport. You can get away.
Invincibility. What about being able to never die? I feel like.
So that's funny. I'm writing a comic about a guy who can't die or can't be hurt in any way.
Yeah.
Except for his vulnerability is vinegar. So if he gets like splashed with vinegar, like melts. He's vulnerable there. No, he doesn't melt. He's just vulnerable there. You know, like he can be hurt until it dries off, and then he's fine.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah, but there's like in this instance, like he can't feel pain, so he can't really feel anything.
Yeah.
So like sensory wise, he can't feel anything. So he has to use like, I don't know, like if he wants to feel a kiss, he has to get like vinegar chapstick and then hope that she's like really into salad dressing or something.
Yeah.
So,
oh my God.
Yeah. So it's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. And it's gonna. I want it to be goofy. I want it to be a little goofy play on. Yeah. But that's really his only power. So like, he's not super strong. He's not super fast.
He just can't die. Just can't get hurt.
Yeah. So like any big bad guy that wants to get rid of him can just like throw him. 2 city blocks away, and that's
so what demographic do you think invulnerability appeals to most?
Nerds.
Probably.
Nerds who got picked on and bullied, like in my
people
era,
who've been bullied, who
physically bullied. People who have been physically bullied.
People who are insecure about their safety. Invulnerability would be big for them. Yeah,
either that or like
a lot of sad people.
Yeah, I don't know. They'd be sad. Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, that's not. It's kind of sad, but yeah.
I think invulnerability would be a sad superpower.
Yeah. All the really depressed people are just invulnerable. Yeah. Oh my God.
Super speed. What about super speed?
Super speed. ADHD. People with ADHD. who need and want to be in multiple places at once doing different things. Yeah, super speed. I see that. That's that.
I see that too. That's perfect. Like learning 50 things at once.
Yes.
Absolutely. I need this Lego built now.
Yep. Done. Okay. Next thing. Yeah. I think that's it.
Get to the library. I need to learn about earwigs now.
Yep. Super reading. Yep. Okay. I know everything there is to know about earwigs. Now.
Super reading. You're going like deep Flash. Like
yeah.
The Flash has got like everything about him is super speed, so he can read. His thing was he read like a library. Yeah. And had all that information in his brain, like just packed it in there in like a minute.
Yeah.
These are great.
Yeah. What about like, it's not really a superpower. It's a thing some people actually have, but photographic memory. Like if you could have like an encyclopedic knowledge of everything in the world and know about that.
I mean, that'd be super cool. I wouldn't want to talk to that person though.
Yeah.
Everything you brought up, that person would be like,
Yeah.
They'd have a point to make about everything, or like tell you you're wrong about every single thing, and that's for a person who wants to get punched in the nose all the time.
That's for, I think, like more like autistic.
Autistic.
I think like I would love that. I would love that if I could just I'd learn everything about bugs and not forget things. about it. I'm constantly pushing out information that I've learned in the past because I keep learning new things, and it's just like a cycle. And then if I forget something, it's like, oh, I got to look this up. And
I'm at an age
Yeah.
where if I learn something, I have to delete something.
Yeah.
So like, and now I'm
Basically.
super into politics, so I'm forgetting stuff I care about
Mm-hmm. Oh
to
God.
learn that,
Learn about yeah.
to learn random shit I
Mm-hmm.
never cared about
Yeah.
Donald Trump. Like,
Yeah.
or like Biden eats too much ice cream or whatever.
Yeah.
Like I don't need to know any of
Yeah.
these things. I don't
No.
need to know any details. I know the obvious things about these people.
And see, my problem is I push out things. I push out everyday life things to hold on to bug things. So like people's names and
Yeah.
Stuff like that. I
Yeah.
forget.
It's
I mean,
wild. All people's names are
Yeah.
not important to me at all.
No.
It's sad. It's
Yeah.
sad. I still call Ryan Marshall. I still call him Kevin half the time I talk to him. And that's because I did it wrong the first time I talked to him. And I still.
But I'm gonna be completely honest. I'm blanking on what your name is. I think it Joanne's Washington. Johannes. That's all I know you as is Johannes Washington. That Facebook name, which I know is a fake name. I heard recently. I watched a live stream where you were talking about how that was a fake name. And I was like, I thought that was your name.
A lot of people come on the show and they're like Johannes, and I don't think about it. Like I don't warn anyone.
Yeah.
Because it's not. I don't know. It's me.
Yeah.
I took that name. My name is Josh.
Josh. Okay.
Josh.
See. Yeah. Josh.
So that's my real name.
Is Josh short for Joshua, or is it just Josh?
It is. It's short for Joshua. So
Joshua.
if I'm in trouble, if you're mad at me, Joshua works great.
Joshua.
That's a great indicator that you're mad.
Okay.
It makes old ladies giggle and blush when I say that to them. So I use it. That's my pickup line for old ladies. Josh is my guy. There you go.
There you go. Josh. Yeah.
But
yeah, I know you as Johannes.
Yeah.
So
that's enough. I've been approached at shows. Hey, Johannes, I've seen your show. Like,
yes.
And I don't look. I'm like, doing something, and they come up and clap my back.
Like, touch your back. Hey, I was talking to you.
Yeah, Johannes. I'm like, sorry, I can't hear good.
Yeah.
But I wanted to be hireable. So you can't find my Facebook by my actual name.
No.
So I had my nephew is in computer science, and I had him and his 3 roommates who are also computer science, and one kid's like a hacker. He's like a legit hacker. And I was like, hey, find me. I'm going to give you an hour to find me on Facebook and not use like other family members. Right?
Yeah.
So they couldn't do it.
That's good.
They couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I said, you can give them my name and my email, my actual email. And they couldn't.
Yeah.
They couldn't find it. So that's a good sign.
And that's why I like my Facebook name too is also not like TJ. Everyone calls me TJ, but TJ is an abbreviation of my first and middle initial.
Yeah. Timmy John.
Timmy John, yeah.
What is it for real? Are you going to out yourself?
Tristan Joel.
Tristan Joel.
Yes. And then Ombrelle isn't actually my name. Like, it's French for umbrella.
I was calling you Umbrella at the beginning of the show. I introduced you as TJ Ombrelle.
It's TJ Ombrelle, yeah. Well, that's actually the French for umbrella. But yeah, no.
All right.
No, Shanahan. If anyone receives packages from me, they know my real name is Tristan Shanahan. That's what's on the shipping label.
That's one of the whitest names I've ever heard.
Yeah, well, I'm mostly Irish, so
it's pretty white. It's pretty pale. Yeah, that's
Irish,
good.
Italian, and a little bit of Chinese.
That's a mix.
Yeah. It's a mix, yeah.
That's a good mix. I'm a mix of every kind of white person on the planet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like ultra Caucasian. Yeah. So it's not even I wish that was a joke. It's like
all the whites is assorted whites.
I think French is the only thing I don't have. I think that's the one.
Yeah.
I think that's the one. But probably. I mean, they're frisky. They're frisky people. I might
just somewhere down the line, maybe.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Well, it was great meeting you tonight, Tristan.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah.
Did you hear about the website we're building?
I did. I'm in that chat.
You're in the chat? Okay, good.
I've been a bit absent. Yeah.
So, I mean, that's okay.
I know about it.
Tennyson's really excited about it. So, folks, we have a group. I have a Facebook group of experts and respected science-minded individuals that in my opinion, and most people's opinion, TJ's one of them. Tristan, oh, you're over here. We are building, mostly it's me, but we are building a website through a consultation group that is, you may have heard of it. If you're watching the show, you've probably heard of it, but it's called Husbandry Hub. We're working on it now. I would love to be able to get an actual professional to create the site for us, but I don't want them to do it for free. So I've had offers to help from other people in the community, but I'd rather do it free, like do an AI thing, than have someone do the actual hard work for free. I know that sounds dumb. I'd rather pay them for what they're going to do. So I'm looking into crowdfunding now to see that's going to be the next step. If you sign up for the Patreon, starting the beginning of this month, all that money is going to go to this website. All that money is going to go to the website. So that's going to be where it's going from now on. So what we're going to do on this website is, on Husbandry Hub, is compile links to reputable breeders, sellers, informative people, scientific papers, those kind of resources.
Mm-hmm.
We are going to be primarily care sheets or care sheet adjacent information. For those of you that don't have a website, we can get you vetted basically through our group, the compilation experts, and then post them on the website. So we would have our own care sheets there too. But this would encompass just myriad animals, just almost whatever. We're not going to do dogs and cats.
Yeah.
But I don't know, capybaras.
The kooky pets.
The kooky pets. There you go. Earwigs. But there will be links to every kind of animal I can imagine that I know someone keeps well. So there will be a link to Invertebrate Dude. That's you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I get everybody's business name mixed up, so I don't want to disrespect anybody. But but we would have. Do you have a website of your own? Mm-hmm. Is Invertebrate Dude a site that has
invertebratedude.com, and I got care sheets on there for some of the stuff I keep.
So that would definitely be. We would have you'd have the link directly to Invertebrate Dude. Mm-hmm. You would also we would have categories of animals. You say, oh, I want invertebrates. Okay, this kind of invertebrates. Mm-hmm. Okay, earwigs. Okay, then you'd have 2 or 3 different places you can go. So you can pick, these guys are vetted, but everybody does things a little different.
Exactly. So you it's to compile them all.
Yeah. And you can look them over, pick the things that work for you.
Exactly.
But you know that all the information there is good.
From reputable people, that it's what they're recommending is working for them. So
it's working for them, and clearly, I mean, if there is an expert on our site, then they know what they're talking about. So it probably will work for you.
Yeah.
There's a chance it doesn't. I had a hard time with clowns, the clue guy.
Yeah.
Until someone sent me 50, I could not get them to breed.
Yeah. Sometimes you need that numbers game.
Yeah. Lisa, I'll talk to you about that tomorrow, okay? About Patreon, setting up a Patreon or not. Wally's right. There's less fees with coffee. Buy me a coffee. So,
hi, Alan. Earwig bro. Yeah, that's my name. Instead of Invertebrate Dude.
I can found. Oh, I put Mr. Winterfeld on there.
Mr. Winterfeld. Yep.
This is why it's Mr. Winterfeld. I would never put my stupid name on there. Oh my god. I just did 2 videos yesterday for a classroom about banking. So I put Mr. Winterfeld on there, and I was Mr. Winterfeld, the banker for high school kids. Yep. So, Ellen, you missed a lot. You're going to want to watch the rest of the innuendo. And
I'm sorry.
Can we even call it innuendo?
Huh? Yeah. It's blatant.
Yeah, it's not innuendo.
Blatant. Yeah, you're talking about labia minors.
Yeah. You're going to have to go back to that. But the website, I don't know of anything else that's out there that's like that. If you guys know something out there that's like this, you'll save me a lot of time and money to just promote that website.
I don't really know of anything that's compiling all different care sheets from different sources and then recommending them. So,
well, and obviously we're going to get consent. We're not just going to link to somebody's care sheets.
Yeah.
But we've got some great people already involved. So
Yeah.
it
And
has some excellent information.
I would compare it to basically it's like you're creating a library.
Yeah.
Essentially, a library for care information on the internet that people can go through. It's free, and you are able to access a treasure trove of information from multiple sources, reputable sources, about the caring for the animals that you want to keep. And I feel like that's very important, especially now because so many people have care information out there on their sites and stuff, but not everyone knows everyone in the hobby, right? So people that don't know me, for example, don't know that I have care sheets for a lot of weird obscure stuff, right? And Google searching that doesn't necessarily bring stuff up sometimes. So having a website that will completely encompass all of that will be very useful, I think.
I think it'll be really useful. I think it's a really good contribution to the community. And you guys know I'm the community. Use code Labia. Use code Labia to get 200% off your next order. I should put a discount code on our website.
I should do that. Labia Minor. Use the code Labia Minor and get 20% off my orders for the next week.
You should do that.
I should do that.
You should do that. Yep.
Oh my god.
Yep. And then next week it could just be WAP.
WAP.
TJ has all the care sheets for real.
I need to write more. I'm missing. There's a lot that I need to write up still for some stuff that I've had success with. Earwigs. I need to write an earwig care sheet.
Well, I need to see yours because I want to get for the people that are hosting them on my page or our page. I guess I'm going to call it our page. And I mean by ours, not just me and you, like the community.
Yeah.
I want to put up a formatted one. Like here's the information we want in this order. Boom. And then have a couple so I want to look around and see other people's care sheets and see what they have.
Mine's pretty simple and kind of combines some categories with each other. I do housing, which lists, what size container I recommend keeping them in. Substrate hides, temperature, not temperature, but humidity, ventilation levels, that stuff. So just the build basically is under housing. Then I do temperature because, some species breed better at certain temperatures. And others. Diet, and then breeding / life cycle for how long they take to grow, how many babies they have, any other random quirks are put there at the end.
Great.
So mine combines a bunch of stuff. It's only 4 categories. So mine's pretty simple. There's probably better templates out there, but that's what I do for mine.
I'd like to add more onto the one that I'm thinking of. I want to do stuff beyond the care sheet. I want to have native region. All that kind of stuff, the Latin name, and then known common names. Because there are, a lot of them have multiples. Just so people can find them to shop. Because a lot of times you're looking for stuff, well, that's not necessarily true. If you're looking for a reputable breeder to sell you rubber duckies, they're going to have it under species cubaris or cubaris species rubber ducky. So you're going to want to know that.
Reputable breeders will always use Latin names. In addition to common names, at least. But
some won't even really use the common names that much. So I know some that are adamant they hate them, which is fair because it leads to a lot of confusion. You're one of them. Okay. I knew this was a recent conversation.
I'll still list them. I still list common names on my stuff because that's what people like. But I hate common names.
I feel like
it's just so interchangeable.
It's helpful for the normies.
It's helpful for the normies, that is fair.
That's a lot of what this website is kind of to bring together.
So
the pros, the normies, and the hobbyists. So, there's an auction. Kyle eliminated all common names. Oh, even Kyle's doing it. Okay.
Yeah, Kyle's gonna try to get rid of common names for his site, I think, except for roaches. At launch, Well, I think
Kyle Bunch.
Kyle Candelian, Roach Crossing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he also hates common names. He's trying to come up with really, really convoluted common names for a lot of the roaches too, so that people don't want to use the common names and instead will use the Latin. Because if it's easier to use the Latin, then So that's funny. So
Here's my little problem with that is now
mhm,
they're like reclassifying all this shit, and so
mhm.
the Latin names or the scientific names are changing too.
That's the
So
thing. That is, yeah. Latin
it's
names
not
sometimes change. The common
yeah
names generally don't.
it's not
But
all over the place, but
yeah,
it's becoming more of a problem
hmm
these days.
yeah. I think the
So
most efficient method is to, when you list your stuff, list the scientific name and the common name, right? You do
oh,
both. And then
okay.
that way people know exactly what species they're getting, even if it's been reclassified. And you're using the new Latin name, but then the common name will be the same. And it's like, okay, so this is that.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
So yeah. So yeah, guys, we just had that whole discussion again.
hmm
We went way over time tonight. This is great. I love talking to you, TJ. I just love talking to you.
oh, thank you. I love being here.
Uh, Good, because I'm having you back on to talk about
Yeah,
invasive species like
sweet.
next
Oh,
week.
sweet. All right.
Um,
I'll be there.
not next week. We're gonna have. You should watch next week. We're gonna have a lot of fun with Russ. So
Okay.
you're gonna love this episode. Personally,
Yes.
I promise you,
Okay.
you'll love it.
I will try.
Um,
We'll try to wake up early enough to get on.
okay, all right. Um, so yeah, so if you can, guys, this is for the community. Please pitch in. I want to do this right. I can do it basically free, but I want to get a professional web person involved in this to make it just look better, be exactly what we want. I have a lot of ideas, and it's going to be a big project for just a regular person like
Yes.
me that doesn't really have any web experience whatsoever. So, um, if you can, please pitch in whatever you can, one time or recurring. Patreon has a thing. You can PayPal me right now. All of that is going
PayPal,
to,
Venmo, Cash App.
yeah, I'll
Uh,
have receipts. I'll have receipts to show you that your money went to this project. So I'm very passionate about it. It's almost all I think about right now. So, and I haven't been bombarding my partners recently because I know it's a lot. So yeah, so let's do this. Let's make this happen. There's going to be merch as well, so you could buy merch and support it as well. Any sales from the merch for isobuddies.com is going to go toward this as well. You can see that over a fourth wall. I don't have a link up here. It's in the last video, but there's some fun stuff up there. We're going to get midriff shirts for the ladies
ooh.
or the fellas that
Or
aren't
the
too
guys want to be
self-conscious.
a little spicy.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
for theys, thems. I don't care. Whoever wants to wear it, I don't care. So show it off. Show off your gut.
Hell yeah.
I'll wear one at a con if you guys. If we sell 5, I'll wear one at NARBC. How's that?
Oh my god, yes. People, please buy them. Please. Please. You have to live stream it. You have to live stream you going
I've
to
got a hairy belly.
ARBC.
I've got a hairy belly that's kind of big. It's very pale. So yeah, it's gonna show up really, really good. Yeah, you can sign it. You can sign
Yeah.
my belly if you show
Yeah.
up and I wear that. So 5.
Yeah.
If we sell 5
5 shirts.
midriff shirts, I'll put them up tomorrow. They're not on
Please,
there
people.
yet.
Do it.
Or 2 jean jackets. So there's 2
Alan,
jackets.
yeah. Alan asked, did my earwigs come in today? No, not today. Tomorrow they should be here.
Tomorrow.
And Frank asked about Harvestman. Is Venoni say officially Libidioides albilineata? Okay, here's the thing with that.
Oh.
So a recent paper came out. All U.S. Venonis are Libidioides now. That is true. However, they reclassified like all the eastern, basically most of the eastern Libidioides sei as a third species, Libidioides albilineata. But that change is about to be reversed. Even the authors have admitted that it was wrong and it was based solely off coloration and not even much morphology. So how I'm labeling them now, because I have real like sei form sei and albilineata form sei in my collection. I would label them as Libidioides sei forma albilineata. So it's like a form, but it's not a species. So the ones from the East Coast would be Libidioides sei forma albilineata, whereas the more western sei, like Texas and Oklahoma and stuff, are probably going to be Libidioides sei forma sei.
Or the common name I propose, Labradoodles.
Is what?
Labradoodles. That's close. It's a lot of the letters you just said.
Yeah. There you go.
It's a lot of letters for that scientific name. It's longer than the bun.
Libidioides. Yeah.
Sei.
Forma
Forma
sei or
applesauce.
Forma alboliniata. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot, dude.
What? It's a mouthful. Yeah, it is. It got a little bit more complicated, but yeah.
Some cleaning
It's funny. I
lotion.
just started getting a ton of babies too from my Forma sei, and I just started getting babies from my Forma alboliniata.
That's awesome.
And my Libidioides ornata are finally breeding again after like a year of no breeding.
Hey, man.
So that's awesome.
Get them back on track.
Yeah, I've got so many harvestman projects going on right now.
I want to get into some. I'm going to do some backyard harvestman this year.
I haven't found any like of the normal backyard harvestmen here in a while, which is weird.
You know what? I haven't seen as many. Yeah, they're down.
Yeah. And it's weird because they're most of the ones you see in your yard are European invasives as well. So I don't know why they should be declining, but that's weird.
Weird. I don't know. They're just the ones that are like a ball on legs. So
yeah. Yes, and Alan is adding to my harvestman, my man problem, my man addiction.
Man addiction.
My man.
Harvestman.
Yeah, harvestman. My man. It's raining men. Joke. Hallelujah.
Inside joke. I love it.
Yep.
All right, brother. Well, thank you. I'm going to end it because we're way over.
Alrighty. You got to get to sleep.
To everyone who stayed, thank you so much. All right. Love you guys.
Thanks for tuning in.
Next week, Russ with the green box of the 1970s animal cards. They're so fun. They're so fun. I found problems with a bunch of them.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're going to go over those. And one of the problems, at least, I found out that I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I'm wrong. So we're going to focus on that, too. Okay. I'm going to admit it. Okay? You do need to watch the Labia Minor talk, Alan.
Yeah, and you got to go back.
Yeah. I had some good laughs.
That stream.
Yeah. So, all right, guys. Have a good night. We love you. See you next